You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
But he was right to call all your muck. Cause no woman who wears an orini voted against the UNC. But Hazel Brown, which she had a rapper on the current platform voted for he never ever sing about this. No song about this, the barrier abortion, this. But he make Eric Williams, Seamus, and Patrick Reeves, any black government come them to the leave. For 20 years, Patrick was the boss in the land. He lost and went back to his humble home in Copola. But in 6 months, cameras for you, one big Mac over Bungalow. Or you should never ever treat Mr. Malik. Shame on is the brown. Look how you have black woman head dragging on the ground. If Rosa Park was alive, he ever should have do. But you're in the back at the bus and spit on you. So, on you from my from, give back the African, the head up and gone. I'm so disappointed in you, woman. Another thing was African. All your hair shame on this note I must fall. Will not send those names. You will all your makers a cry. Class all your and God. Remember, Jesus Christ spoke for the house and son. Take example from the Indian people. They still have battle and they are not critical. So people Raphael and the Johnson and Strangler. All of them is all you tell me out. Look how all you have people suffer. It's all about awaiting for all you for emancipation. Take over the weak lying for Remember Narayan Singh? People say that he should swing. They even free Ibrahim Shah and want to destroy Abu Bakr. And in a taxi, I hear a man say, "It's Shandeme going away." But if it was a little black boy from Lafayette, he would have been on the plane already. And how come I ain't hearing anybody? Why they go protest like 1970, where is Kafra Kambon and Orogo the so-called conscious men, they had nothing to say, and sometimes they don't really make me to cry. When I see my own dress up in three-piece suit with jacket and tie, he forget wrong neck. Now we wear in the tuxedo. Or you should never ever treat Mr. Money. Is that set up fake for a couple $1,000? All they can go break. Dr. Fiodlek always used to tell me that the black man is the black man's worst enemy. Leram Kibalani run the country. The driver can't drive when it was running. I'm so disappointed in you, black man. Your white bearded. All your hair shame. Get back the African man's name. You should be complaining, great, should be off the scene. You want to go up Lavandi and build Latry. You'll find that black people must sit in the cold and Kamala by remote control. And so disappointed in you, black man. Or you said, or you tell me, oh, look how all your other people suffer. Ain't all about. I hear Tobago and the old champion. And your champ is that. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, and of course, it's in the village of the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Let me bring in 1/3 of the Dark Triplets, no other than Diana, Waveney, Benskin, McDonald, boy. Yeah. Only thing you have to unmute your mic.
Where's she there? Where's she there?
Here we go. Unmute your mic, boy. What is going on? Diana, Waveney, Benskin, McDonald, boy.
Yeah, boy, I'm back.
Where's he seen?
Not the scene, man. You know, Rowley and them trying to knock me out, but I'm still here.
Wait now, boy. You see, how come Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley trying to knock you out? How come it wasn't Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissessa?
Might be she too. Yeah. They tried to knock out the storm. But the storm is here.
The storm, boy. They say, boy, the storm is coming. What's that?
Yep.
What's the name of that song? The storm. Quiet storm? The quiet storm? The storm?
Storm is the one that, yeah.
Yeah, but I just say we want to apologize to all our fans and everybody. We kind of missed that show Saturday. We apologize. Honestly, we sometimes you have to take it. I was actually gonna do the show from the airport and do it on the plane and all kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because we appreciate our fans so much. But I say, you know what? Let me just relax and take it easy for a little bit. Let me relax. You know what I mean? Let me relax for a little bit. But let me do our superlatives.
Wait, baby, before we start. Ron, I get a bronze medal in the spelling bee. All right, I will fix you tonight.
But
I'm gonna fix you tonight. Yeah, you started already.
He start. Wait. Come me, I ain't get to hear it. Hey, but I see Tommy inside. Let me bring in Tommy. Tommy was kind of up there, boy. Tommy, boy, I didn't see he was inside there, boy. What tax? You inside, Tommy? You inside, brother?
How you doing, my brother?
Boy, today is a fantabulous, splendiferous, marvelous day, man. Can't complain at all.
Lana say, vex with me and you give me a little holiday.
No. We ain't vex. But I make some nice little, it's funny, right? Anyway, let me do these superlatives first. Tommy, welcome. Takesha Watax, boy. Takesha was inside 5:55 p.m. 5:55, you know. But right now, yeah, Takesha was in 5:55, boy. Then, of course, I had to say good night to Keisha. Then right after Keisha, boy, Nadia jumping. Nadia, welcome, good night. Right? Then my dog, boy.
Tommy, somebody's telling you good night, Mr. Love Child.
Oh God, again, Tommy Love Child.
Good night, all the lovers in the house.
Yeah, then little Ron Horner. Little Ron Horner. Listen to that fella, boy. That thing leave Florida yet? Who's that he talking about, boy?
I don't know. He said what?
Montessard.
Wall Street went Florida and like he had get ticks and he couldn't answer the bells.
Who said
that? Who you expect?
That little fella, boy. Hey, I'm sorry for you. Only get that fella a pill now. Hey, look, somebody come back, boy. Hold on, look, that fella come back. Hold on, let me go down here. That fella come back, boy. What? Hey, Curtis Montessori inside, boy. Temperance Creed, boy. Hey, where went, partner? Where Temperance Creed went?
I don't even probably went on vacation.
Yeah, Lana, you inside. Yeah. Who you talking about? That thing leave Florida yet? Look.
Rajvi, what Rajvi's talking about, huh? Hi, Takesha, I miss you too.
Yeah, Temperance Creed, boy. What, boy? Temperance Creed, boy. You're back inside, boy. What that? You're inside, boy. Curtis Montessori, boy. Chumaka call you. Hey, Rajvi. Good evening. Welcome to the Go Along, Get Along Power Hour. But yeah, boy. Rajvi, I like that one. Hey, Rajvi, you take the cake with that one, boy. Yeah. I had to put that one up, boy. Yeah. Rajvi, you're inside big time. Rajvi, say good everyone. Good night, good everyone. Welcome to the Go Along, Get Along Power Hour, boy. Yeah.
Yes, boy.
Yeah, boy. Temple
You see
Screen, boy.
you see Ron say a crocodile attack Wall Street in the backyard in
Yeah.
Florida.
That fella. But I'll give you a last story about that too. Winston Renwick, boy, you're inside, boy. Good night. Yeah, boy. Hey, Diana Templars Creasy, good evening.
Good evening, Templars. Good
What?
evening,
Like,
everybody.
what Rajvi say? Like the contract, them fall through?
A crocodile attacked Wall Street in the backyard in Florida. Oh, God.
Now, Ansem, we vexing you. I gave you a little holiday. Lara, thank you so much. I really appreciate that in truth. No joke. Templars
Jesus
Creed.
rich boss.
Matt still in the chat. Still on the chat. Yeah. Mad Dog still in the chat. He sent his cousin Mad Puppy.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't seen it.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
Lennox Charles, boy.
Takesha want to know what going on with this certain of your government ministers and the president. Nothing going on, Takesha. Everything good, man. Everything is okay.
But a fella come out and say that there's corruption in the place. A minister, a clergy, a member of the clergy said that he tired of the corruption.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, boy. Lennox Charles. Good evening, boy. Lennox Charles, where you joining us from?
He said
You said what?
Yep.
Where you from? Well, look, nuts cake and fish steak inside.
Oh, Lord.
Nuts cake inside.
How them nuts looking kind of old, so.
Nuts Ipetia? Ipetia? Look, Miami Jesus. I mean, Miami Jesus. Answer the name, man, rich boy. Hope you are well. Yeah, boy. Huh? Yeah, let me pop that fella.
Night Rose.
Yeah, Rose, you're inside. Look what this fella say. A crocodile attack Wall Street in the backyard in Florida. So yeah, this now. So
Lennox from Sando.
Where you from? Sando?
San Fernando.
Yeah, what part of San Fernando, boss? San Fernando is a big place, you know.
High Street.
That's true.
Oh, High Street.
Oh,
yeah. Fistic. I'll send you a PNM meeting with the president to talk about commissioner and president getting involved with politics. Hey, Lennox. Let's say hello to Lennox for me now. Hello. Say hello to Lennox, Charles. I think Lennox is the first time in the village. Lennox.
Hello, Lennox.
San Fernando is a large place, you know, boss. It has two constituencies. It has David Manning and it have who's the other fellow? Faris Alwari. That's the other fellow, right?
I don't even want to call his name.
Oh, you mean?
Alwari?
Yeah, Faris Alwari.
What's your problem with him?
What's the problem with
Alwari?
Well, we're trying to get Rhoda Barrett in here because Rhoda Barrett called for Faris Alwari to go. And all they know, I think it's Gary say Rhoda Barrett was part of the Go Along, Get Along, PLM gang.
Hello, Queen.
Oh, God. So we try to get Rhoda Barrett inside. You know what I mean? Hey, but listen to this one, Diana and Tommy. So we was in there for a cross country meet, right? And I just decided to do a little video, right? And but in the morning, the meet started about 7:30 in the morning, right? So you had to get up like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you had to go out and people had to warm up and all kind of things. So I say, you know what, boy? Let me go for a run. This run was about, I would say about 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was scared, boy. I was running up in a kind of a bush place, but I running to the left, where it's more opener. Because I say to myself, as Ron says now, I say, boy, not me now, boy, me know what kind of alligator that in that bush, you know. So yeah, I do this 3 miles, you know, and I only kind of look, want to veer to my left because the left is open field and to the right is one set of bush. I say, boy, I want to stay to the left as much as possible. So my whole 3 miles was stay, moving to the left, moving to the left. So one, it's true, boy. I was afraid I see any crocodile in there in truth, boy. I no joke. Scared of that, boy.
And they're faster than you know.
What? Them crocodile don't make him joke, boy. I said, not I and I, nah. Not I and I. Hey,
Alligator thing.
Fish stick. One meeting you're paying them with the president. One meeting.
Oh,
what? Fish sticks. Put in the chat the proof that you have fish stick. That the PM meet with the commissioner. They meet with the president to talk about the commissioner of police. Oh God, man, I would like to take these kind of rumor thing, man. Tikisha say, yeah, run the president getting free money. Oh God.
But
Really?
let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What's the president's job function? What does she do?
Huh? What does she do?
Yeah, I want to know.
Well, she does approve certain things, like when a senator, like when they appoint a senator, I think she had to approve the appointment, and I think she gets to appoint 2 independent senators, something like that. But people in chat could correct me. You know, it's ceremonial, but she gets to do a few other things. You know what I mean? She gets to do a few.
Can't she give up her salary for a couple of months to buy the children booklets in Trinidad and Tobago? The people suffering, people booklets need to feed. Which she living in a nice place. She have children. She have nobody to see about, but she mother. Give up her salary. Put it back in the till. Give it to Zahir or some bookstore. And let the people go and get their books filled. That's what you need to be doing, Madam Paula May Weeks.
If you're Rose hibernating,
Rose, you're wicked. Rose, you're wicked. Rose, oh God, Rose, oh God. The woman. Rose said the woman.
I'll give you walk into that because you ask if anybody in the chat know, at this Rose is what she know.
Yeah, that's true, you know.
Yeah, these poor children catching the nenen Paula May Weeks to get the book and the computer and all kind of things. Look, Tommy carrying down something for somebody, I helping somebody else. All they need to stop. They're good. What is going on? Children going back out to school and they're stressed out. And would anybody arranging emotional support services for these children? Huh?
Let me say welcome to Queen, boy. Queen, you're inside. Queen, you're inside. Oh, you know, Queen is one of your favorites, you know. Miami Jesus says, don't be afraid of crocodile, be afraid of lagahu. Where's the lagahu?
That's a woman that look real nice and sexy like Lana in the night. And with that one shoe on and one shoe off.
She have a wooden foot.
Yeah, one shoe on and one shoe off.
Miami Jesus.
And she will call it, hey, Anslam, and she go look like somebody that you know.
No, there are no lagahu in Florida. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but there are plenty Trini in Florida, so you don't know.
Oh, look, Raj, we say there's a raccoon and coyote. What about that? I was in Daytona Beach, boy.
There's half raccoon and thing down there.
Daytona Beach?
And you had to be afraid for us, Laja Bless and Sukuya and all them kind of thing.
No, them thing. Them thing is not real, man. I know Laja Bless and Sukuya and all them kind of thing. Them is fake thing. Them is not real thing. All I believe in that?
Well, it in the folklore, so.
All I believe in Laja Bless and Sukuya and all them things?
Well, let me tell you, when I was growing up, and they had Dark Shadows, those of you young enough to remember that series, and the Barnabas bite somebody, and I go outside and a bush tickle my neck. I take off faster than Anselm. Yeah. Why fire to go?
Right on me.
Remember what Stevie Wonder said? He said, if you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition
Well,
is the way.
when I was a
Nah,
child, when
me
I was
didn't
a
even know
child,
Sukumi and Laja Bless and all them things. Them things them is fake thing.
when
Me didn't
I
even
was
them.
a Ansel, when I was a child, and you watch Barnabas and you go Barnabas and Angelique, that's right, Ron, and you go outside and a bush tickle your neck, you run, you go take home like faster than Usain Bolt because you swear it's Barnabas trying to bite you on your neck.
Listen, me see, I never seen no Laja Bless or Sukumi or Dwen. What's that Dwen? What's that Dwen? Everybody go put what you go
Hey,
say.
highly.
Now I ask what's that Dwen. You go see what they go put in the chat.
Sean, if you're listening, go click on the link and go in the backyard and wait for us.
Hey, I put myself. What's that doing? What's that doing?
I
You know
don't,
what's that doing?
I don't know. I don't know what Dwayne is. I really don't know. We got to dig into we folklore, boy.
So me know what's that doing?
Donald Cox.
I, you see me, I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
Oh God. Oh.
You see what wrong?
I walk into that one. I walk into that one.
You see what Robbie say?
Yeah. I see him.
He said Ember.
What? My dog say what fake thing answer. I know more than one people see ladies walking in the night, you know.
Rose said what 2 foot and short like Ember.
Tell me what the real doing is now, man. What's that doing? Tell me what's that doing now, man? Come on now, man.
But listen, they had this thing in Barbados where the heart man cut out your heart. You're driving anywhere in the night. You're walking anywhere in the night, and you see this car coming to you, no lights and no driver. That the heart man, and they're waiting to cut out your heart. Yeah, you had to run, yeah.
Cut out your heart?
Down. Yeah,
What is that? What is that one?
Yeah, when Shira come on, she tell you about the heart man.
In Barbados?
And steel donkey.
You know, as you say that, you know, in Levante, we had a no-head man.
All right, then.
But
they say the Dwen is a mythological entity from Trinidad and Tobago folklore. Their most recognized characteristic is their feet and are said to be backwards with the heel pointing in front.
Lana, it on the head, girl. Lana say a short person that foot turned backwards. All you call him, but I do it.
Well, he's short. And I never see him start. I never see him foot outside a pants. So I know who's a Dwen. Who's short?
Who's that? Who's that doing?
Gary Griffin.
Oh God. My dog say a person born before the desired time. But I really can't understand that definition. What? My dog, you see that thing in front of your name there? You see that thing in front of your name there?
Gary outside. Emsburg wearing socks, so we don't know.
Good night, everybody.
Gary, we're talking about Trinidadian folklore. What is a Dwen? You know what Dwen is?
As far as I know, the closest thing I've seen to a Dwen is the Minister of Finance.
Oh shit!
You call him? Man foot in backwards, Gary. Where is that one? Man foot in backwards. You call him man again?
Well, that's the closest thing I saw referring to a Dwen. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
so Gary, you see a Dwen before?
No, that's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I know referred to as a Dwen. I don't know anything else. I never seen it. I heard the stories, but that's the only thing I've recently seen. You know, like you heard these stories about these people that's go in Guyana and find these things called a buck to get money.
You know, as I say that, Eli say a Dwen and buck exist. There's documents in Alaska about buck and Dwen taking children to the forest. No.
But I hear Trinidad, they just go Guyana to see a buck when they want money.
See a buck?
Yeah. That's all kind of stupid talk, man.
Raj, we say you have to see the Buckman video from Trinidad.
But far as I know, the only thing I know, as far as concerning Adwen, is the Minister of Finance.
And we have like I said, the Steel Donkey and the Heart Man in Barbados. So
you see, nobody can challenge him, man.
No.
What is that?
With all the people he suffering there, right? And nobody can challenge him. No, nobody has nothing.
And you see, as I told Anselm, a member of the clergy came out and called out the country on the corruption that's going on down there.
Yeah,
a member of the clergy, one of them archbishop or deacon or whoever he is. I would like to. I can try and get him on the show. Get him on the show. Let him talk. He come out and say what you got. Because you can't cloth now, yeah? You can't persecute the clergy, no matter what's going on.
The Archbishop, cancer of corruption, boy.
Thank you.
Man say,
well, it is to a point where it has gotten to the people. It's really gotten to the people. It's getting under their skin, and it's just a matter of time. They're going to have some kind of retaliation. I mean, how much people can take? Anybody that's human is human for you to boil over. I mean, there's only so much you can take. But I just don't want to see it go the wrong way. If it goes the wrong way, then it serves no purpose. If it goes the right way, with right leadership and coordinated properly, we can make a difference.
You have the guests in the background or no?
No, they're not there.
Yeah.
Sean, go click on the blue, if you're listening, the blue link, StreamYard. Okay.
No, he was there before, going back.
Oh, he was there before? Okay.
Corruption. Corruption is nothing new in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's just getting to our head now.
It's everyday business. There's every day, yeah.
Well, the man who professed to be, he was going to take on corruption. I mean, he seems to be, I don't know, how to say, leading the way. He exemplified it.
So listen, little one who wanna say you can get a buck at the bottom of the Kaita River in Guyana. How do you know that?
I kind of, I know where you could get, but I get people that go there when they want money.
What is that? What? Tell me.
Kaita is the world's. The Kaita is falls. It's the world's largest free flowing, freestanding fall.
Is that waterfall?
Yeah, you call it a river.
Call it a river.
Yeah, that's
maybe its source is a river. Because most water falling had to come from somewhere, right? So, right. So,
Nizam, welcome, boy. We're inside. Hey, Nizam, what is that fella, boy? This chairman of the PSC. That was not Nizam too?
Yeah.
Hey,
ask
Nizam.
him if that's the same Nizam. Ask him if you want to get in touch with him.
You know your cousin Nizam Mohammed, you can get in touch with him first?
There's a lot of imitation Nizam, so we got to
but if you use Nizam and leave Nizam, all that to be related.
It's a common name in Muslim. It's a common name in Muslim.
Yeah. Ron said is a fall into the river. So wait now. So the Kaita fall going into the Kaita River? That's what you're saying?
The Kaita River flow becomes the waterfall. How a waterfall could go into a river? Yeah, it's more, down there.
It's the fall. The fall comes into the river. So the fall turns into the river. Then that's what he's saying. It flows into the river. So
what's the source of the waterfall? Not a river?
No, the source coming from the mountain.
The mountains.
The water.
Yeah, but it has to flow. It has to start somewhere.
It's coming from the mountain. Like you go down Maracas and you see the water flowing from the hills. It's coming from the mountain.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to the bottom of no waterfall trying to look for no mountains. I go in my purse and find a $1. That's what it is.
Yeah. Fish sticks in Lana and now it's a Suriname ritual. And rich people in Ghana buy it and sell it over.
Really?
What do you buy and sell over there?
It's some kind of folklore thing, right? It's
Nizam Mohammed say anyone selling a buck, I gonna need one after the budget.
Oh God!
I mean, you see what they're doing. You see what they're doing with the prices. They're jacking up prices. The government continue to operate towards the people.
Yeah, kiss. Yeah, but we had one boy.
Going up.
Let me see that one. Kiss. You know, boy, they're killing we, you know, boy. Well, they're killing we. They're killing people in Trinidad, you know. Kiss bear going up too, boy. But they
Chicken
say
going up.
kiss going up. Fare, taxi fares going up.
Chicken going up.
Chicken going up. Right? Right? They are
Just now
buck in Trinidad. They are Dwen. They are
just now,
Lajables. They are Sukunia.
just now your rent gonna go up.
Property tax and all that puffing just now.
Yeah, the book price going up.
You know, boy, there's all kind of thing, boy.
But remember what's going on with that property tax. It's not going in the municipal corporation. It's designed to go in under the hands of the central government. You know,
Really?
so I mean,
Gary, Ms. Camille Regis Robertson called for Kamala to apologize to the president over the
really?
PSC.
Apologize?
Yeah, because
apologize.
it's news. I just put up the news.
Yeah.
She said she'd apologize.
Yeah.
She need to apologize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Apologize for the corruption they're doing in the country.
No,
wait until all that stuff is exposed in the public. No, we don't have some rolling out already there. Wait till you see more coming. More coming.
But Gary, I want to ask you this thing here. What, like this thing fall through or what? Hold on.
What thing is that?
Hold on, let me put it up there for you, man. Because I don't know. I know you use the man with all the 411. You know what I mean? One to this.
All the 411.
Yeah, one to this. That fall through it.
Must he stand with Gary Griffith? This man did more.
What happened? That was supposed to be Friday. Hey, look around Honor. All in go.
Well, we don't know who organized that,
Gary, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I see it, but I don't know who organized it. I don't know who organized it.
Who you think organized it? Take a guess, now, Gary. Take a guess.
Philip Alexander.
Well, I will have to ask Philip, but I don't know who really organized it.
No, Philip didn't organize that, man.
Who organized it?
I don't know. I don't know who organized it, but they say it's a party that started with a U. I don't know.
Lord.
Yeah, but they got accused the U of a lot of things too.
But wait a minute. Why we on that? I hear that he wants to throw his hat in the ring to be the leader of the UNC.
Well, listen to me. They're accusing Watson Duke of partnering with the UNC. But all this is political propaganda.
No. Watson Duke ain't partnering with no UNC.
This is what the PNM will spin off.
I like that, you know. And she put 2 emojis too. Wait a minute. You mean Gary Griffith? I think she mean Gary Griffith, you know.
They're not going to do me like they do Gypsy.
Hey, look we partner.
What they do Gypsy? Let me tell you something. Gypsy was a non-performing MP, number one. I was happy to see him go. All right. Look at what Russian Parade doing for Mayaro there. Man, he's a real MP. And I mean, Gypsy had people suffering out there. You remember the story with the mattress? I think mattress pile up when bread took place, and they find mattress pile up when people suffering with mattress. Was there something?
But
Gypsy is also one not performance, eh?
But Gary, let me ask you a question, right? Why do they call people that move from the PNM to the UNC or the UNC to the PNM grasshoppers when we have plenty grasshoppers?
Well, listen to me. What I'm saying to you, what I would say, right, is some people are opportunists.
Gypsies are grasshopper. You know, opportunist.
No. What I'm saying to you, this thing was spin the wrong way. I think the whole thing was handled between Gypsy, Jack, and this whole thing was mishandled in the wrong way, and you couldn't talk to them fellas. Them head too big. But anyway, what I'm saying to you, there are people we know that will hop between political parties to see what's in it for them. You and I in this for a fight for people and country, right? We don't care if we ain't get anything. This is not what we're there for. They will treat us like we're begging for something, and when they win the election, they kick we aside, But the thing about it is, a lot of people is in politics. Like Pandey said, politics attracts all kind of people, and he was right. All what this man say is right. You got this category of people, you got that category of people. I mean, you got people on the ground. Like we experience in the UNC, a lot of the foot soldiers who really put out themselves out there. you know, they were treated badly. A lot of them were treated badly, you know, and they were upset, very upset. I mean, so I mean, look how I put out myself out here, and I couldn't even communicate with things that I was trying to make a difference. I see things going wrong, and trying to say, you know, I mean, I had to go on Facebook and rant because I couldn't communicate. They blocked me from communicating to the prime minister, who I had a personal relationship with. We were one on one. We used to talk to each other all 10, 11 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we now starting to talk because she up late. Right?
Ansem, is your guest there or no?
Nah, you not there.
But he was there?
Yeah, he was there before, but he gone. Rajvi, what does Rajvi mean by Wall Street? Put the thing to the tip now, yes? What does that mean? What tip? What tip? Hey, cashew nuts. I mean, well, a few nuts inside.
So politics attract all kind of opportunists.
Politics have a morality of its own. But hey, look, my partner, Vonnie Roberts, don't come by. Vonnie, the night boy, you're locked on. If it sticks, I was going through the underground report and I see you're posting on your. Hey, but yeah, Gary, I hear you and see a big controversy, boy. You hear about it?
What?
I hear Arnold Roberts is on 97.5 with a multicultural program, and the man radio program is the same time as the underground report. So they get kind of vexed.
I recently saw something like that. In fact, I recently saw that. I think I shared it with you. I shared it with you.
I just said, again. I just said what? I don't know, the same time as the underground report is on the radio. You know, underground is the Pompec, Flight TK.
Yeah, I heard of it. I never seen the program up to now. I just saw that when I saw that thing, I sent it to you. So
yeah. I listened to it. I listened to Arnold for like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah,
and then I went to the
much.
I went to the underground report for 1 second. because
Ansem, let me go see if I find the guest and come back.
Yeah, go ahead. Right? So big controversy, boy. The UNC kind of make, hey, Rowdy boy, welcome. Yeah, Rowdy boy, that's the underground report with Sly TK, the Pompet of radio and Will Smith.
Hey, I just saw something about Hebian goes back in action. Is that true? Current or
yeah. The truth is unbelievable.
Oh, so they're back in action.
Yeah, remember the program is The Truth is Unbelievable.
So they're back in action then. Yeah.
Run. How you know that? Run all with you, boy. I used to be a staple on the underground report. I used to call them fellas all the time.
I never listened to them. I heard from you about them. I really don't know them. I came across Heavy and Ghost a while ago, and I used to watch in and out, when I get a chance to, or when I remember.
Yeah, Ratsby. And it was on this morning, boy. The underground report vexed too bad, boy. It's competition, boy. UNC gain their own self competition, boy.
Well, I know Arnold is a bulldozer by himself, so
yeah. Troy Smith, you're inside, boy. What? What kind of thing? You Troy Smith, you go get a woman vexed, What a man say, boy? Miss Diana, you look like a lady of the 60s from the Supremes or the 60s, boy. Troy Smith. Boy. You sure you don't want to delete that comment, boy?
Yeah. Anyway, I sent you a picture. This young lady.
Yeah.
Let's kind of highlight that she's
let me put
parents are from Trinidad. The father is a very top DJ down in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. One day I will come back to that comment you just made. But I want to put this up as Gary highlight that. Yeah, Gary. As a matter of fact, this is the Florida woman, which you say it reached a dead end for the missing Trinity teen. And a good friend of mine is family to the young lady, and I spoke with him like today's Tuesday, I spoke with him on Friday, and they had a whole thing, they swarm all over Florida, and it seemed like if she was abducted, from her apartment, because she was in her apartment, and the person said that I think the guy was supposed to be a janitor or something, and he knocked on the door, and she was a new kind of person to the apartment, and next thing she disappeared, and
I understand that the parents rented that apartment for while she was in college. And
she got a little, in college.
Yeah. So she got a little job there with the complex. But they're saying her place is ramsack, and so this guy is, I think he killed himself or something like that.
Yeah. They say he was found dead. So you know what that means. That's sad, man.
So it is
That
kind
is
of putting
so
us in a
sad.
dead end situation. So we're asking everybody to keep their eyes out. This is one of our own. So
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
That's crazy, man. I mean, you send your daughter to school, boy, and that's all that happened, boy. There's a lot of crazies out there this day, man. You gotta be very careful.
yeah.
You gotta be very, very careful, man. Very careful. Very, very careful. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all.
And she's I sent you another picture there, the flyer for the police. So the thing about it is, I understand she's a child that is maintaining contact with her father. She's not one of them children that that doesn't want to be bothered, or you feel like you're overlooking at them too much. I understand that she keeps in touch with her father, so she was in regular contact with him on the move. So when he see her, she didn't show up. The family, they decided to look. So
Vonnie Roberts, why you vexed with Aisha? Vonnie Roberts vexed with Aisha. He say, oh God, listen to Aisha today make you wonder. PNM do nothing wrong. Even with the Tobago callers, they were chastised for being a PDP. Yeah. Hey, let me bring in our first guest here. Let me bring back Diana.
Yeah, he's backstage waiting.
Yeah, let me bring in our first guest here. This is a gentleman who has to share a story with us. Hey, Sean Christopher, you're in the dark. We can't see you. Is he supposed to be in the dark, Diana?
Ask him. I don't know.
Hello, good
Sean.
night.
Yeah, we can't see you. You're very dark. You want to try to get some light?
Okay.
Yeah. That's
see me
better.
now?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Right, move yourself over there. All right, that's good right
Good
there.
night.
Perfect.
Good night.
So Sean, we want to say,
stay one place. You gotta stay still.
yeah, we want to say a pleasant welcome to you. Are you hearing us?
Yeah, good night to all viewers.
All right, we want to say a pleasant welcome to you.
Yeah, I hear you all now.
All right, you are within the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We have with us the D is Diana, who's considered to be the storm. A is Anselm, who is considered the Flash or Wall Street. G is Gary, who is considered the Phantom, and we have a fourth person is Tommy. He's considered to be outside child, and the ladies in the chat call him the love child. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm going good for now.
Okay, your volume a little low. A little low.
Covered up the mic.
I am going good for now.
And the mic.
There you go. That's better.
You gotta stay still. You can't move. You gotta stay still.
Yeah, right there is good. Right there is good.
You
just kind of
lean the phone to something and stay still.
Right. So Sean, we brought you on because you indicated to us that there is some type of property story in Trinidad and Tobago that you wanted to highlight, right? A situation with you. And so talk a little bit about what your situation is with respect to this property. What's going on with this property?
Okay, then.
Your camera had to come down a little bit because we're only seeing 3/4 of your face. Come down a little more.
Right.
There we go. Try if you can keep it right there. So we got to keep it right there. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, my dad died in 2000. When my father come and died in 2000, I went and I took a little while before I do that of administration. Now, that time, people were tampering with my documents. I didn't know as yet. So when I went to do that of administration, the court granted me my father's estate. Now, when I get the estate at grant now, and just that asked my father permission to pass the gas line to our property. Now, my father hadn't get paid yet. My father come and die in 2000. Now, they're supposed to pay me retro. Now, when the time was to pay me retro now, they didn't want to pay me. And I had to take them before the court. I take them before the court now. In fact, I'm Justin Goben, she was the judge at that time. They was trying to say it was state land. Now, she was letting them know, far as she understand, that part already cut out already from the state. and she was seeing taxes paying, but already have a deed already for the property. So she wanted a valuation done from 1989 to now, which she didn't want to do. And when they realized the court was favoring me now, they asked me to drop the matter to settle it. So when I drop the matter to settle it now, they don't want to settle the matter. They started run me around. And so they dance me around talking about they want ownership and ownership. Now, if the court
But Sean, hold a minute. Sean, did you have an attorney when you dropped the matter? Did you have an attorney?
No, I was to drop the attorney in the court because my attorney and NGC attorney link up together and they do a valuation for 3 years. Now, the court didn't want no valuation for 3 years. They wanted the valuation from 1988 to now, present. And they wanted to do it for 3 years as state land. And the judge didn't want that. So when the judge accessed the valuation, they couldn't show it. And so that was confronted in the court and they asked us to go out and discuss it. And when I came back in, the judge asked me if I was owing my lawyer any outstanding money. He said no. She asked my lawyer if I owe him any outstanding money. He said no. And I was to drop him in the court and get an next lawyer, but I didn't get the next lawyer in time. So when NGC realized that the court was favoring me now, they called me after the matter to drop the matter to settle it. And that's when I went back to the next hearing. I explained to the judge that, they asked me to drop the matter, and she asked me who I was liaising with. So I told her Mr. Lincoln, he was the project manager. And she told me she don't think I should drop the matter, but I didn't have no lawyer, and we were done behind time. So she said, anyway, we drop it now. Time to settle the matter. They don't want to settle the matter. Roman and Pierre was supposed to do back over the valuation. Roman and Pierre see the documents. He said, he let me know Frank. He said, heavy corruption on this. He said, he go find the deed. Because already have official deed for the property. They send back state and they come back with a box to review the property. When they come back now with the box now, they see that it's not state land, it's private property. So when they went back with that information now, no one's come back to me, nobody come back and give me no information. Women and Pierre just drop out everything. I didn't get in contact with them, he didn't say nothing about the valuation. I also had to go and revoke back the valuation from him. So now I get a new lawyer now, which is Mr. Posad. When we go into the legal affairs to get the deed, nobody can find the deed. They didn't see no history of the deed. Now, WASA now give me a new bill with 3Z in it. And they put previous and present. Now, my father did with that suspend number, the WASA bill is 4Z. Now, when I come forward with that bill now, everybody said they pull away because they realize that 3Z have no relationship with the property. Because that come like a new piece of property you're trying to give me on that 3Z. So they say the 3Z and the 4Z is the same thing, which I know is a lie. So I say, okay, I take it to the Grande Court. When I went to the Grande Court at it now, they check it, they come back, they say, Mr. Roach, this 3Z where you have no relationship with the property. We want information from the 4Z to show the 3Z come about. Because if it doesn't cut up the land, you can't get a next number. Which I know. Because every plot will have a different assessment number. You can have 3 and 4. So Daddy back and I started right. They didn't realize the whole thing top, people didn't have a hand in it, everything corrupted. Now I have a new lawyer now with Mr. Posad now. He started to deal with it. He write them just to negotiate for me to start to get this thing in order. Nobody respond back yet. TNT come now and put on the pole in my property now and saying that NGC give them permission to put on these pole. NGC write back and say they never give them permission to put on no pole there that ask the owner, which is me. They refuse to come and ask me. They went and put the poll and say, NGC give them permission, they override and say NGC give them permission. NGC then they never give them permission, they give them clearance. How far? That'll be away from the gas line. And the bacchanal start from there, let's keep getting run around. Everybody you go to, they're pulling away. Everybody you go to, they're pulling away. They're pulling away. No matter where I go, who I go to, they just keep pulling away. Which I know legal affairs responsible for this. Because if I lost my deed, and I go back to legal affairs, I'm supposed to be able to pay whatever I have to pay and get back a copy of that deed in legal affairs. But
so Sean, this matter been going on since 2000? This matter been going on since 2000?
Yeah, since 2000 to now.
And what is the current, yeah. What is the current status of the matter?
Well, right now, we're waiting for a reply from NGC because the lawyer write them. You give them 7 days. If they doesn't respond, in 7 days, they have 14 days, and you take it to court because they just keep running around. Everybody just trying to work for me. They're just trying everything they can try, because this is big people involved in this. It's not no small person involved in this.
So why would you
Big
say
people
there's
involved in this.
corruption? Why would you say there's corruption? What makes you believe there's corruption?
Now, my deed alone is just showing there's corruption, because if I lost my deed, if you have a deed and you lost a deed, will you have to go back to get a deed? That's the legal affairs.
Correct.
If you go back to legal affairs, which is the registration office, and it doesn't get it in there, what is the next step to get a deed? Nobody is saying what is the next step. Legal affairs can't find nothing. They see no record with my father. They wipe out everything. They're trying to say, like, I now get the land from 2014, and they come and that is my assessment number, which is treason, which that cannot work, because if I get the land in 2014 and I get treason, how I get the land without treason now, it had to come from something. It must come from the four. So who are the four? Which is my father. So if I get the land in 2003 and the court grant me my father assets in 2000, when my father died, I got in 2009, and the court grant me my father's estate, which is the 4Z, where the tree come from? So everything that's tapped right there, because you don't see where the corruption is already. You can't have two assessment and one parcel of land if you cut up the land.
So are you saying that they're trying to take the land away from you? They're trying to say it's state land and not your family-owned land?
Yeah, they try to go to underneath me and try to bring in a new assessment number. When they realize I come in with the 4Z, that is when everybody said pull away. And state land try to intervene in it now and saying it's state land, and Ms. Blackman, who in state land now, call me and tell me how some man by the name of Abdul came back free land and I have to move from there, and they come to bulldoze my place and all kind of craziness, real threats, and trying to frighten me.
What is your lawyer doing about this?
Now I now get a new lawyer now, and he's been really moving straight to them now. He write them, he give them 7 days to respond. If they doesn't reply in 7 days, that 14 days and we take it before the court, because he say his legal affairs responsible for that deed, and NGC them supposed to pay me my retro because the gas line is there and it's a live gas line and I'm living here, and they're supposed to pay me my retro.
So Sean, you don't have no deed right now?
The deed, I lost the deed. All I have was just the tax paper where they tried to tamper with, and the assessment already was a bill. So now
that should be good enough.
I thought I'd go back to legal affairs and get it back there, which was the right thing. And if legal affairs don't have it, something wrong. Because I have proof with the assessment number, the tax paper, it's showing it have an official deed for property. My father already cut off from the state. He don't pay your exemption, you have to pay from the state and get it cut out after you don't get the 3 years. And that is the same thing the court was saying. It already cut off from the state. So somebody was trying to go to it, somebody heavy was trying to go to it, somebody big. This is not no small man thing. If this was a small man thing, this done deal with already. Because every time I get a lawyer, and the lawyer dig into it and they see who involved, they pull away. The last lawyer I had was Mr. Keith Scotland. He said he will mash it up.
Wait, MP Keith Scotland?
Yeah. He said he will mash it up. Then after he tell me give him a week, when he run through the documents, he come back and tell me he will write an opinion letter. And then after when he write the opinion letter, now he will do the matter. He will matter so on. So the next thing I see him paying him. And he pull away. Everybody just keep pulling away because somebody big involved trying to go to the land. Is somebody I just being real and being sure that somebody on any department is out next department is somebody close right.
So when you say somebody big, do you know who?
I talking real because this is real thing. This is
allegedly. Do you know who it's allegedly? When you say somebody big, somebody in the government?
Well, yeah, it's somebody in the government blocking it and pushing it away.
Yeah, we don't want to say everything will jeopardize the case.
If Mr. Raymond, no, but what I'm saying, if he get pull away, if Raymond and Pierre get tired away from this, something is wrong with somebody with them who them running from. So I went to Mr. Mr. CJ Williams, that is Mr. Abu Bakr lawyer. I went to he and over this. He told me give him a week, he will deal with it, we mashed up. When he done run through it, he come back and tell me he can't do the matter so and so and pull away.
Hmm.
People
You
like
picking
this
up what's going on there, guys?
people that's pulling away.
Picking up what's going on there?
So you have a lot of people pulling away, man.
Yeah, because they don't want to touch
Everybody
it because
that's
there's a
pulling.
reason. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what
Because
go ahead, Gary.
where the land situation is 500. That is on the airstrip, right? This airstrip when my father get there, this was a gadget. This was on the papers. And my father went and applied and get it through. And through my family and them, which is Mr. certain people who was big in the country, through them, my father get recommendation to Mr. Lincoln Myers and get the land and pay whatever exemption he had to pay and get it cut off from the state and start to pay taxes and get his deed and thing. And somebody like they wanted the property. And they realized my stronghold go on.
So you still have not been able to get a copy of your deed so far?
We ain't pick up with it. We can't find it. Now I went to Miss the MP with Miss Beckles. I went and saw Miss Beckles. And she told me that all. She said, "Oh, it have a deed. All I have to do is get a good lawyer now. After done do the search, to arrive to the court. Because a page must be pulled out, or somebody must lost a page or some kind of thing, or some kind of reasons that she told me."
So Sean, stick and stay right there, right? We got to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the dark Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. We have with us online Sean Christopher Roach, and he's just basically telling us about a situation with a piece of land that his family owns and the difficulties he's having in trying to get his his deed for the land. His deed for the land, which he lost, and he's trying to get a copy of the deed. Hold on, seconds, they don't go to be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
And of course, we are back with you. It's in the village with the dark Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And we have with us online, or in the village tonight, Sean Christopher Roach, and he's basically telling us about a situation that he has in Trinidad with respect to a deed that he lost, and he's trying to replace the deed. So Sean, what is the next step, man? Because it looked like you spinning top in mud. How long again you think this thing is going to take before it's resolved?
Well, the next step we take that before the court, because if I had a good lawyer that from the first starting, it will have finished through Miss Gobin, because far as I see, she understands what was taking place already. Because when they realized she was serious and she was dealt with it in a certain way, that is where they started pull around it, and I was confused with it already. When they asked me to drop the matter, they settled it, they realized she was on point with it. So when they asked me to drop the matter, I thought everything will have the light, and we'll have settled it, and we'll have deal with it, and I'll go to legal affairs, and we'll have see what we can get. Now, I'll make a point, but they see the chairman. Now, when I went to see the chairman for NJC, what he's telling me, which it kind of upset me, wherever the half of my father is not for me. He didn't say to give me it. So I was kind of upset with that, because if you're the chairman and I come to sit down to talk with the NJC, to negotiate with the NJC, for me to have a good relationship, because of that gas time running in the back of my house, that is my life, I play with. And you the chairman, when you're supposed to be working with me and say, well, Mr. Roach, we go see what we could do, we have your father here and we could get things going and get. He's telling me, well, my father is not for me. They didn't say they give me it. So
you see,
that's automatic. That's automatic. What is your father? What is automatically yours?
Yeah, Mr. Roach.
Exactly.
The only thing that worried me is that you shouldn't be talking for yourself. You should have a legal mind in there talking for you, because you as a lay person trying to deal with them is a tough battle you're fighting there. That doesn't seem to be one that you could win that easily. If you had a legal mind or somebody who is an officer of the court working for you, it would put you in a different light. That's my opinion.
Well, they're running. The only lawyer right now stand up is Mr. Si Pasado I have right now. He's the only one that's stamping this right now and dealing with it right now with me. All the rest of the lawyers that I had, they keep running.
Yeah,
George
you had to let him
Bowman is
work.
one of the judges that will stand up with you in a fair way. She is one of the honest judges that we have seen. I think Mr. Volney was
Very
recommending
honest,
her.
Mrs. Gomez.
Yeah, she's one of the people you could trust in the courts there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
Someone,
honest.
someone in the chat said, if you're paying taxes, you can go to the district revenue office. It will be recorded there. Did you go there?
No, they're not giving you nothing there. Them when I went there, then telling me it's not them that do this, it's Wasa. Wasa says not them is this. Wasa called me some big person from Wasa called me the other day and telling me now they want to go and pay the bill. Right? Now I told them the bill that I have is 3 that they're giving me, you know. If I go and I pay this bill, she's saying it is the two accounts is the same account. Doesn't matter. Pay the bill by the time. I say if I go and pay the bill, right? Wouldn't I will be reactivating the 3Z and come like I going ahead with the corruption and going on with it? So I cannot pay that bill on that 3Z. If I doesn't get back that 4Z on my WhatsApp on the bill that's supposed to be, I not pay nothing on the 3Z. Come like I reactivating the 3Z and I going ahead with the corruption. And it was still like that. So I am not paying anything until they solve.
And you see, you know what I noticed here? I'm coming on camera again. You see what they're doing to the Lord, the a black man under a black man. A black man running the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and this is what you have, a black citizen. He black, he's not Indian, so I can't say he's Indian. You're African man, right? Are you
Indian
African?
black too?
Let me finish,
African.
Gary. Oh God, he's an African man, and he's having great difficulty under African Prime Minister in getting what his father gave leave to him. Dr. Rowley, you should be shamed. Imsbert, all of y'all, finance, legal affairs, all of y'all. That is why Anselm will say it need digging out from the core and starting over again. This is the corruption we're talking about. This is the corruption the head of the clergy in the church talk about. You're trying to disenfranchise and dispossess a black man. Yeah, and then when you talk about then they're going to say about 92% of the black man is in prison, right? But you have a black man here, the father, he inherits something rightfully from his father, and all they're trying to take it from him. Huh? This is the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Are they proud of all themselves? Are they proud of all themselves?
We have to keep lighting them up and exposing them.
Obviously, yeah, you would have to link him up with Rose.
Yeah.
Privately.
Who's RPO? What's RPO?
Regional something officer.
Okay, so yeah. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna try and link up with Rose from in the chat, and she's gonna try and see what she can do. All right. We have a person in the chat say I could send him to someone in RPO, but I can't call name here. So we're gonna try that.
She worked there. She worked there before. Anyway, what do you just imagine? Legal affairs is supposed to have records when you lost something there, and they don't have the record. What do you see going on there?
They lose it,
and it's from inside the Red House. From inside the Red House, they could get somebody to change the name on a deed from the side. All the thing going on in Trinidad.
When the Red House got renovated, they lost it.
Renovated. They need to lose all. They need to lose themselves. I am sick. I am sick and tired of the PNM. I'm tired of them because this is what you're doing to a black man. Huh? I'm tired of all you. You getting there, you're supposed to.
Diana, it's since 2000, and
I fed up with Trinidad.
Since 2000, we've been going through this.
Government
Come on,
I'm tired.
It's not just now this happened.
Well, who is in charge now? The PNM. He shouldn't have to be going through this. He shouldn't have to be going through this. And while we on it, I had to throw me in there. I can't get back my ID card under the PNM government. So there we go. I started blinking corruption. And Tony, let me go at it. You know me, I just talk. The young lady that you put me through to get my tribe or the passport is a such a drama with she too.
Hold it right there. Hold it right there.
Diana.
Hold it.
I wouldn't go down that road.
Hold it. Put on your brakes. Put on your brakes. I've been able to help many people through that, and to rubbish that it's not good.
I wouldn't go down that road.
And this is the problem. This is all your problem.
No, but
no. They can keep the blinking passport. I don't want it. Because if they're going to put me through the rigmarole that they want to put me through, I don't want it, Tommy. I don't want it. That passport ain't going to stop me from going nowhere in the world. Just because I claim Barbadian citizenship, that is going to be a hiccup? What nonsense you're telling me. The government, the Constitution of Barbados says I'm a Barbadian citizen. It is something I had to apply for, and that looked like it's going to be a hiccup. I ain't fighting with them for no Trinidadian passport that I had one before and I'm entitled to. If they don't want to give it to me rightfully and they want to put me through a whole set of thunder, let them keep it. I don't talk.
Listen, so let me finish up with Mr. Roach here. So Mr. Roach, what do you have to do? What it is are you going to do in order to rectify this situation?
Well, my lawyer waiting on a response from them. Once we get a response and they doesn't respond, we take it before the court. Back. And it had a solve there. Because I dropped it because I didn't have a lawyer. They asked me to drop the matter, they settle it. So that's how. So when they asked me to drop the matter, they settle it. I thought we'll settle it and we'll come to that conclusion. Now, when I drop the matter, they started running me wrong.
Yeah, because nobody's looking now. Nobody's looking. It's just you and them. That's why you can't do anything without somebody who's an officer of the court.
Right.
So I guess you have learned it. You have learned.
I'm tired. I'm tired of
But this is our own people. This is our own people. It's a host that run around every time you go to do something.
Some kind of business with the government is a set of run. And you ain't had this, and you need this, and they need that. And when you come with everything, then somebody can't find this, and they don't know where this is, and they want it. A set of blinking corruption and slam. That is what the clergyman say.
Yeah, but Diana, I am agreeing. In spite of what Ellis says, I am agreeing with what the clergyman says.
Well,
the system is rotten. It is
poor.
rotten to the bone, right? And we have to change the system. How are we going to go about changing the system? I'm not talking about political parties, because political parties come and political parties go, and the system stays the same. Nothing changed. Maybe many times it'll get even worse.
Thank you.
Right? Until we change the system, right, we are spinning top in mud. And what we mean by changing the system is that we who are parts of parties, whether you are yellow or red or pink or green or blue, right? If you are just going to defend your party regardless, the system is going to continue just as it is. We are not going to change. All we're going to do is get exchange. That's all.
It has to be country first. Country first. Nation.
What I look at, right, is if when a government comes in, the government is supposed to dictate the terms on what changes has to be done. Now, if the government is not listening to the people on the ground or what the issues are, the government cannot make that change. Number one, because they don't know and they don't want to know. They go there for a different agenda.
But Barry, the people on the ground are not telling the government what the issues are because them government in power.
That's right.
Once they're eating our food, they're very good.
Yeah, but you also have the people. You also have the people who are trying to tell the government suppressing the truth. They don't want to hear the truth.
The government say them is the minority, man, or them is the opposition. Leave them there. Them is the opposition. Don't worry about them. Them is the opposition.
You know what's the problem? You see, when they go into the parliament and you have a speaker who is biased, and the opposition is trying their best to introduce stuff, and they know you're out of order.
It happens in each case, regardless of who's in government. It's the same garbage. Garbage.
Thank you, and I'm saying that for a reason. How are you going to change it when you have Al-Wari could jump in the parliament and make a law for this and nobody to oppose when you have allegedly procurements going on without the input and the knowledge of opposition and informing the voting populace? How are you changing anything? Then you're heading for anarchy.
So guys, let's not hold up Sean anymore. Sean, we want to say to you, man. Yeah, we want to say to you to continue, and maybe in 2 weeks' time you can come back and give us a little update of where you are, what's the position, so maybe highlighting your situation here on the program, people will see it, and someone in authority will see it, and they will realize that, listen, we got to get this thing done because it's been so long. It's been quite a while now. If it's been since 2000, that's over 21 years now, and it seems like it's going even further back than that. So hopefully someone will see this. So let me say to you, if you had to send a message to the Minister of Legal Affairs, that's the Attorney General, I guess, because I think Legal Affairs is now in the Attorney General's office, right? People can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
what would you
that's
say?
good.
Yeah, what would you say to that minister with respect to your situation?
I would like him to look into this, not just for me alone, for everybody else who going through the same thing, because this is what holding back people in life. And if they want to stop corruption and crime and all them kind of things, this is part of corruption and crime, because when you reach in this kind of situation, you can't do nothing. You go look for other alternatives to do other things. And if all of the want other things to happen, help people, send people on the ground to look into people place, for people who going through things like land and all these kind of things, who lost the deed and who trying to find back certain things and solve these things, and things go sort of go the right way. Don't just sit down there like, oh, they have a blind eye on it, and all they like all they see and all they know what's going on, and all they sit down like nobody know what. But this help people outside. People outside need help. Put all they there to do the right thing, and all they still ain't doing the right thing. Because if I vote you here to put you there to help me, and you ain't helping me, what you want me to do? Now, if I go and do something wrong, you go say, well, look, he has land and he ain't doing nothing good. He's trying to go and rob and kill and thief, and then you kill me. You ain't going to say nothing good about me, but I start here fighting to do the right thing. Just like to do our business, just like the Indian, the Syrian, and the Chinese, and I can't get to do nothing. I just have to sit down here with my land, and that's what I want me to do until I die, and then they could come and try to go with it. That's the whole thing. But I would like the minister to look into this, see this, and help me get back my thing, please, so I could get my thing ordered, so I could do something in life. Thank you very much.
So Chris, thank you so much. What we're going to do, we're going to put up something with this, and hopefully the minister is going to see it, and we're going to get something done. So we're going to invite you back in another 2 weeks or so.
But Anselm, additionally, Rose said that she knows the regional property officer, RPO, is what I think that means. We have to link him up. We have to link him up.
We'll link him on WhatsApp. I will link him with Rose. I have both their numbers.
Right. Good.
Yeah, in the meantime, anything that you see that looks, any kind of threats, any kind of issues you facing that you feel suspicious about,
contact us.
Contact us. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Take care.
Right.
All right. Bye. Yeah.
I just get vexed when I hear my people suffering. You see who we color here? The man trying. He want to do a thing too. He want to do a thing. He entitled to do a thing. Why he can't do his own thing? Because of corruption. I'm fed up with them. And you know what's ticking me off? I am anxiously waiting to see the outcome of Tobago elections, number one, and I'm waiting to see the outcome of the next general elections in Trinidad and Tobago, number two. I waited to see.
Don't hold your breath.
I waited to see.
Don't hold your breath while waiting.
To see something.
Don't worry. Aisha Wells gonna make sure the PNM win. Don't worry. She making sure the PNM.
This is what
and Rhoda Barat backing her up. So don't worry.
So
we go get Rhoda Barat and some man. We go get Rhoda Barat, man. Rhoda Barat will come.
If this is what they want on the ground, this nothing working.
But Gary, Rhoda Barat call for Firestar Rory to step down, man. Come on, man. She's the first person. She's the first person in Trinidad and Tobago call for him to step down.
Like she kinda trying to follow you or what?
Nah, Rhoda Barat good, man. Rhoda Barat has come to keep facts, but
trying to save herself. I need Aisha Wells to stand up for the people and not party too.
What I don't
for the people, man.
what I don't understand, right? We see COVID come and it flip thing on upside down. And those that are in charge ain't doing a good job to help, the majority. They're helping allegedly who vote for them and stuff. And so it's become a petty bourgeois society. So if this is what
it's
you're
the
allowing me to do.
system. It's
Well,
the system.
so I'm talking. So
Okay.
I'm saying is the system. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you agree with me.
But who created the system?
Who,
His party.
if this is what all you want, again, continuing over and over and over and over, well, then I throw my hat in the ring. I have nothing to say. Let them squander and whatever. Because if you don't want change, you don't want improvement, you don't want progress, you're just going and sticking your finger in an ink blindly. You don't want to give some, but you already try somebody else. And apparently that ain't too good. I only allegedly heard, nobody don't jump down my throat. Find somebody new totally and give them a chance and say, you never know. You never know.
Let me call my friend name for the first time tonight. Ellis. Wall Street. Who tell you that people don't speak out? Who don't speak out?
Give somebody else totally a chance. Maybe the other one ain't do too good here. This one ain't doing too good. Then fine. There's plenty. Give somebody else and don't put them back in there after the 5 years if they mess up. Put another person. Don't make them comfortable in the situations that they're in, the positions that they're in, like they have what's the lack of the word I'm looking for? Autonomy on these positions. They're guaranteed these positions. Make them work for you. And they're not doing, I don't care if it's PNM, UNC, LIP, UUU, RRR. Kick them out. They don't vote for them. Put somebody else in there that is serving your interests. And you will see things get fixed. Stop going blindly because this area is a PNM area and this area is a UNC area. No, don't vote like that. They ain't do it right in 5 years. Kick them out. Put somebody else. Find a crapo. Put a crapo, Batty Mamselle, anything.
And that will be worse.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yep. Get rid of them. That's what I would do. And then that Speaker of the House, she won't moving from there. Put somebody else knew that position should not be autonomous. Rotate the position.
No,
that's what they need to do.
Diana, the system has to change because when the government comes into power and they appoint the Speaker of the House, right? If I appoint you, right? How do you expect you to act?
I go act on behalf of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Not because you appoint me. I go I say respectfully.
That's you, Diana.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah.
Diana.
What? PM Rowley, you appointed me, but I am acting on behalf of. You know why? I'm acting on behalf of those little children that are going to grow up and inherit Trinidad and Tobago. I am not acting on behalf of no red and ready.
It should be impartial.
Yeah.
You see, Paula Weeks kind of acted up a little bit in the beginning when she makes some fancy speech. You know, she toned down. You know, she toned down
because the people put fear high. I'm not, but people. The only thing I fear is God. I fear God and snakes.
But you don't understand the system. You don't understand the system.
Well, then you need to topple the whole thing. They need to crash the whole thing and build it up again. That's what I say.
People can't even go to the police and make a report.
Crash the whole thing and build it up again.
They can't get betrayed.
What a fella say again? The fella say, impulse, you frightened to live. That you really know what he's saying this? When you go to the police station, is the bandit taking a report? Is the same bandit taking a report? It's real. It's real. But
I told you that. I heard that from two or three different people. One I hear it down while I was in TNT, and then I heard it on the plane too. This guy tell me he got robbed, and he went to the police station to make the report in Central. He see the man rob him behind the desk.
Same bandit. So it's the system. And listen to this. Sir. I want to quote Gary Friend, GG. And I want to listen carefully as now I see Ellis going somewhere. Run, come from out the bathroom. Run, going in the bathroom. Run, come from in the bathroom. Little Ron Horner's going in the bathroom. Come, Ron, come out the bathroom quick. I'm waiting for him. Let me see. All right, yeah. All right, here the bathroom. Listen, and I'm quoting now, Gary, your friend, Gigi, 20 people of Trinidad and Tobago in 2018 judged me based on the murder rate in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me repeat that, Gary, if you didn't hear me. Gary, your friend, Gigi, told the public of Trinidad and Tobago, the population of Trinidad and Tobago, judged me based on the murder rate.
Well, moderate versus what?
All in a sudden, Gigi, all in a sudden, he went to the dentist and they inject Novocaine in his gun, even though they don't take it no more, and he get permanent Novocaine. He not talking about the murder rate anymore.
But the criminals take him up on that. And there was gang warfare. They killing each other. There was what Muslim gang and Rasta City, and they were shooting up each other for turf.
Gary, good. You send me our next thing, Gary, where the police just killed some fella up in Lavanti again. Right? And the people said the fella had no gun, nothing. Right?
That's right.
Right? The people,
I can't believe that because there's some people defending it.
So you want to believe? Who you should believe? This is like the
what I'm saying to you is
extrajudicial killing in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, this one is not under Gary Griffith, so you're not getting that. You're not getting for that.
But what I'm saying to you is, there's a lot. Look, did you see the video the guy make? The musician?
But what have to do with anything? It's all real rappers up in us make all kind of videos. So you telling me if I make a video and I have a gun, I have a fake gun in it, that thing, I go out and shoot and kill people? That's what you're telling me? So all rappers up here, all right? When them white people make things with guns, they must go out and shoot people too? Come on, Gary. Come on, man. Where's that one?
There's the gangster culture they belong to, bro. No matter the music or no music. Tell a lot of rappers they involved in a gangster culture too. Now they get shoot up by
let me chime in here as a female. I found that video to be distasteful because you had. Let me chime in. I just say what I got to say. People ain't gotta agree with me. You had little children who appeared to be under the age of 14. Right? And in younger and younger. I found that to be distasteful. What a message you're sending. And the gun that I saw displayed in the video, it looked real to me. But the image of a gun and you're singing on the lyric, but yet still, I'm going to say it, that didn't mean that they had to go up in there and however he died, that ain't right.
But Diana, also take into consideration, right? We know the police doing some wrong things too. We know that.
The solution is.
But what I'm saying to you is, a lot of the times they point or shoot at the police and throw away the gun, and the people in the community come up for them. There's a lot of times they do that.
Right, but they're not doing a good job.
They stick together. They stick together up there.
They're not doing a good job with corruption down there. And like Anselm has said, a fish door rotten from the tail. So whoever in charge of Trinidad and Tobago, and we know who that is, last I checked, what is going on with the corruption, right? And you can't have this Mr. Faris Alwari running, making all kind of law for this and a law for that, and nothing ain't working. And we had Judge Wolney on here, and he also said things he see inside there, he ain't pleased with it neither. So it means it's all over. So how do you change it? How do you change it?
That's why Judge Wolney came out the system. He left
Thank
the job.
Thank you. Well, that's why you want the Queen to come back down here and put your foot down and say, hey, what's going on here? You want China to march in here and say, hey, well, they ain't doing a good job. We could fix it. How are you going to do it? How are you going to fix it?
Somebody help in China.
What my problem is, right? And I have a serious problem with this. The old heads think that they're going to be there forever. They're not thinking that you have these young human resource personnel, Trinidad and Tobago youth, who are going to take the helm of the country in the next 20 years. You old heads are going to be gone by the process of osmosis. However, And you all think that this what you're all doing now to hand it off to the youth. Huh? You need these are in these people that are in charge now need to be laying the foundation and the framework and rewriting stuff to hand off a proper working economy, a progressive country to the youth. If they see that, they may fall in line. But if they see that sort of corruption and all that, how you think they're going to behave? Go ahead, Tommy.
Now, Nizam said something in the chat. He said Wall Street is not the system, it's the mindset of the people. And it's true, attitude determines your altitude. The people, you could do, look, I'm telling you from experience, you could be meaning the well and trying to do the best for the people, and their attitudes are bad and they don't have the rights, they're not in the right frame of mind. It will be all for naught. I've seen it happen time and again because I mean,
yes, Tommy.
Some of you know that I've been trying, and that
yes, you've seen it happen time.
We had to bring in Jane Johnson.
But you see, when you have these old heads with their cult-like corrupt behavior, and they think they're going to be there permanently, perpetually, then you become, that's a dictatorship. That is not a democracy. You're gonna hand off this and hand off, and blindly. And
I agree. The old heads are problematic.
The old head is problematic. They are the problem, and them is the one that have the contract jobs with the incumbent and all that. They are the problem, and they keep going and sticking the finger in the ink because they gain a little contract here, they gain a little. And you want a contract or you want a career? Do you want a contract or do you want a career for your children and your grandchildren?
Poor people are getting no contract. You get 10 days.
Even that. You want 10 days, 7 days, or do you want your child to come out of school and be able to get a career? That's what that's all they want. Contract.
You see, but even when there's no career, you have to teach them how to. You see, self-empowerment has to be high up on the agenda. Teaching children how to create businesses from an early age across the board. You know, I mean, because everybody can get a job in an office or in a company. Many people have to. Many people have to be creative and start businesses. You know.
Thank you, but when you don't have access to capital, access to the economic improvement, when you're depending on CPEP for this and URP for this and me knocking nobody now. But is this the culture you want going on and on and on and on?
Nah,
you want this for your children and your grandchildren?
CPEP and URP just feed a lot of families in Trinidad.
I agree. My mother taking my family in 10 days. Listen to me. I am not down on anybody. I am not knocking. Hey, listen to what I said. I am not knocking anybody. But there are times you can do better. Let me finish the answer. I want the future generation of Trinidad and Tobago to do better than we did.
And that's what we are doing. I want. And that's what we are doing. That's what many people are doing. They're doing better.
Contract and 10 days. I want them to have a career. I want them to be able to build things. I want them to open their own businesses. I want people to come in to invest in Trinidad and Tobago. I want them to be the next Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or something. Why is it we can't get that out of Trinidad and Tobago with all the brains they have? If the one body building the next body ain't working in factory, come on.
So let me read a few comments in the chat.
I'll tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago is.
Go ahead, Tommy.
We're listening.
Trinidad and Tobago is revered by so many people as. Yeah, I'm listening. Trinidad and Tobago is revered by so many people. I remember this gentleman, a very distinguished gentleman, talking about Trinidad and Tobago to the point where my eyes welled up and I started to tear when he was talking about how great the invention of the steel pan was and what a contribution it is to the world. when I stop and I think about us not even embracing it in the right way and marketing it and creating an industry for so many talented young people that exist in the country, it hurts my heart because I know that it could be done. Because look at the music business in this country and in many developed countries, how it does so much for so many people and creates so much wealth. You tell me in a place like Trinidad and Tobago, where we have supposedly so many brilliant people, we cannot monetize our skill sets and invention in the right way? Come on, man.
Tommy,
It's painful.
culturally, we don't help nobody make it, but we go run behind them when they make it. All right. When they see a man struggling to make it, we shove him down. Okay. You see a man picking up bottle and selling, right? And he tried to make a way to help himself. And then next thing he gets some money and he buy himself a bicycle. And then he selling from the bicycle. And then eventually he buy himself a car. This was always been our way of life. But when a man can't go out there and sell the bottle or the bacon shack or the doubles in peace, and the police taking away their goods, and there's no support from the system for a man trying to help himself, and they're more working against you instead of for you and with you, this is the recipe for chaos in the country. And the prime minister himself seems to be totally heartless, and you can't reason with him. You cannot reason with him no matter how hard you try as the leader of the country. There's more separation and disconnect between him and the people. You tell him one thing and he come with the next thing.
What is wrong with me? Me, right? Me, I don't have no children, but what is wrong with me wanting a water carrier's children, grandchildren, and great grands to own a water bottling company? Something wrong with that? That is called progress. That's progress.
So let me read some of the comments in the chat.
There's supposed to be support. We don't have the structure in the community. A man, all right, so you work here 10 days, you're supposed to be able to go and take an evening class. You're supposed to have that within your reach. We had some people on the show who was offering some kind of electrical training and stuff like that for the people in the community. They're not getting any support. Right? So, I mean, why is the politicians not embracing and endorsing these people and trying to do what they can to assist them? People are supposed to be able to work the 10 days, sell their fish, sell their mango, or sell whatever they sell and go to school in the evening time and better themselves. But no, they don't want that. They're selling everything 10 miles and 20 miles away from you. So by time for you to really make it, it's really difficult. You're always slipping.
And now the fares, transportation fares going up. Where do people getting this money from? Huh? Transportation fares going up. The government giving them any subsidies? They getting them free, getting school children free ride on a bus. That's what they need to be doing. They need to have free bus rides for the children. No, the people have no money. And they're catching and then to buy books. Huh? The fares going up. Food going up. Well, the blood pressure going up. Everything going up. How the people gonna make it? Nobody cares.
And want to tax you on what your property could be rented for, not what you're renting it for, what it could be rented for. So if you could rent it, if you sacrifice and you build a house for your family and you're no longer working because the government suffocate your chance of making a living, and now we have to pay what your property could be rented for.
No, it's just some. It ain't working now. What the system in place ain't working. Dr. Rowley, Imsbert, Donna Cox, Faris Alwari, Ethelbert Hines. I need to call anybody else. It ain't working.
Well, let me tell you something. They're sticking the knife in our people's back and turning it and smiling at the same time, you know. Okay?
It ain't working. What you think is gonna happen? And y'all tell me what? Keep on going down the same road. Keep on going. Oppress the people. Put SOE. Don't get them no work. Raise the food prices. Dog, the children can't fold the booklets. You see a man getting a thing and chop the baby in the head already, right? Stress. STRESS, stressed out. That's just one incident there. The dogs and all stressed out. They're biting their own people.
So let me read a few comments. Let me read a few comments in the chat, right? Ulrich says, what they do is play for time for him to die, then take over like Augustus Noel from Carnage. Same thing they waited for him to die. Right? That was a comment by Ulrich.
Who they waited for to die?
No, he was talking about with respect to the property, waiting for him person to die, then take it over.
Sean.
He says, stop talk to Wassa and anybody else. Let the lawyer deal with it.
That's right.
Queen says, I feeling sorry for this how this pandemic F up this country.
Right.
Well, Dr. Rowley do that to the country before the pandemic hit. He had help from the pandemic. And they utilized the pandemic as an excuse.
Yeah. Lana says, Diana, legal affairs have a lot of corruption with property. Okay. All right.
Well, anyway.
Go on.
And this is what Farris been debated in the parliament. He was talking in the parliament how he trying to fix this and fix that and fix the other.
What Farris trying to fix what? Oh, he's just put on a fancy suit, slick back his hair, and talk pretty. What he does be doing? What
Diana,
he be doing?
Diana, your partner in your corner, boy. Ellis says, Diana, speak out, my sisters. The wicked bad. You seen how Wall Street happy when you see Rowley in New York? She needs supposed to protest in New York and run him like a dog. Ellis, you are good enough, boy. Ellis, Rowley says, how much for a sheet of plyboard? I building a little plyboard house and an outhouse. So it'll be me and that fella running to the outhouse. Rowley. Rowley, you know. Highly say, speak out, don't do nothing. Waste that time. Nah. You have to speak. Hey, look, we up was here before, right? I feel we up was here before. We up, welcome, man. Well, no, I think we up, brother in here, we don't. He was here before. Nizam Mohammed says, that will never work in Trinidad. Madok says, people pocket empty as well. As a shame how we come in Trinidad.
They have people inside the Red House and legal affairs that could steal your property, assist people to steal your property. You see why Andrea Barrett died? She discovered something in the courts.
Corruption.
Okay.
Corruption.
So the brother is right. He noticed when people take that case and they're backing away from his case.
Yeah, but
all right, because they've seen who involved, and they know that they can't go up against them.
They're running for the hills, boy.
So this person gonna be alive forever. All right, good.
Yeah. So Lana said we need new politicians, not antique politicians.
True.
Right? Haley says, Diana, don't raise your blood pressure for them. For
my blood pressure, right? No, I have normal blood pressure. My blood pressure is too low. That's the doctor tell me I gotta build it up more. But you know, it's tired. I don't live there, and just the mere fact to hear Trinidad, it tires you out. It really tires you. Yeah, and I speak from coming to the airport. You know, you want to change a few dollars. You try to go to any government entity to do anything. It's always such a drama, and I'm tired of them. I'm tired. So when I go down there, I just go check in my guest house in Tobago. If I go to Trinidad to see people, well, you know, I go back to Tobago after one day because I don't want to deal with Trinidad. They're sickening. They're disgusting. And they push up their noses at you. And you're going for help. And it's like you're interfering with them, with their day. You know, you go in politely, good morning. And I'd like to do so and so and so. Like, you know, what you come here for? The attitude. The attitude alone tells you, you know, which will you come here for? Where you bothering me for? What you want? It's not here this year. You had to go for this. You had to go up Park Street. You're going up Park Street. Ain't here you gotta go. You gotta go down Marva. I say, see this running around nonsense? They don't have things together.
Diana, that is the system. Ellis says, as I said, that is the system. Ellis says, Wall Street, you don't understand the system, right? Lana says, thank you,
Lawyers
Anson.
committed. What? A lawyer hung himself on Sunday? Oh my word!
We get to that. Thank you, Anson. The system has to change, and change the people also.
How do you change the system if you don't have the strong enough leadership to change the system? That is what you need. That's why we see like a government. That's why we change a government when we don't like where things are going.
But yes, Gary, changing the government alone doesn't change the system.
No.
But that's what you're doing. You're changing the management so the system can get that change. Number one,
I say exchange. That's only exchange.
Ask Pandey. He was talking about Pandey. That's what Pandey says. It's exchange or small change.
But what I'm saying to you, if you have a business and the manager is not management or the management team is not performing, what do? You replace them, right? Right, that's what you do. So you hire a management team, which is the government, starting with the prime minister as the leader of that management team, and he or she is supposed to be forceful enough where you dictate the terms. And you monitor the situation, where you put things in place to get a feedback on how things are moving forward in your government. You don't go there and sit there and play golf.
Yeah, but if you see, Gary, when you put a new manager in place and you have the same workers and his hands are tied, he can't fire them when they play the fool. That's another thing.
Nope.
But this is what we need. We need the ability. If the what they call it, the secretary, I forgot what they call it in the permanent secretary in various ministries is not performing, you deal with them.
I'll tell you my experience. When you have a place with strong unions, it's also problematic because you would have people playing the fool, and you decide that you're gonna get them out. And next thing you know, you have a suit on your hand from the union wins, you have to take them back and continue having your business suffer. These are some of the issues.
We need some kind of mechanism in place where you evaluate and you get the justified information based on performance that they're not performing and they're deliberately hampering the business. And this is where you have to bring that data forward. You just can't fire them because you on a say so on hearsay information. You have to bring credible facts that this is why. So
we have our next guest in there, and somehow they're supposed to come in at what time?
9.
No,
9. They got the villagers asking 9 o'clock. The guests come in.
So Fistick say, anytime Diana say we turn on a blind eye, and some just stay quiet because they know what is PNM doing. Fistick, well, you're good to know. Look the next one. I got a name for him, right? Ellis Island. Yeah, that's what we'll call him. Ellis Island. Look, Ellis Island. Rowley said he's going to take corruption also Wall Street. Farage promised you good governance also. All right, Ellis Island. I'm going to tell you. Queen Fistick last of loud. Let little run on now. He said Wall Street, that umbrella, sorry cap he was wearing in Florida, squeezing your brain.
Answer, watch out for Shara. I sent Shara the link. She was supposed to come and give us a 15-minute
yeah, but look out for she's in there.
She's in the chat. Shara, go log in.
Yeah, Wall Street, that umbrella, sorry cap he was wearing in Florida, squeezing your brain a little too much, and you are in denial.
Oh God, you just hard.
Yeah, that's all right. I could take my licks, And Sam, Gigi not in office. We can't blame he for nothing that happened when he went on holiday. Yes, he set the atmosphere. He set the tone. He's fully responsible. One shot, one kill. Don't forget it, Lana. One shot, one kill. He implemented that. He had to take full responsibility.
Yeah, well, if criminals threatening, you got to get them charges back. You got to show them.
Yeah, look, Ellis Island again.
Oh boy.
that have a lot to do with it, Wall Street. If you put up a video with guns, society will judge you based on that, Wall Street. If the police execute that young man, they are wrong. How? But so what it is, I will look at that video and I will judge you based on looking at the video. And when I go up there, if I see you that fella was in the video, I will shoot you. One shot, one kill. Based on that video. That's how we police now. Based on video.
If that was the case, a lot of kids here would be lying there in the street.
But
in the United States.
Plenty of them. Plenty of them.
But you're promoting,
including my kid.
Yep, plenty of them.
It's just pure entertainment they be into, you know, some of them. But
I wouldn't say that is entertainment there, Tommy. That is a bad influence among our culture and our people. And our people adopt things that they see outside. And I mean, and this is what's causing a chaos in our country. You know, from the time cable television reached Trinidad and it was uncensored, things started to shift. You know, there was the morals changed, the attitude changed. You know, this the government before is to monitor TTT and what content you could bring. Cable reached there in Trinidad and started to bring everything in open doors. And you know,
well, with good parenting, Gary, with good parenting, Gary, with good parenting, you don't have to worry about these things. You really don't, because you teach your children what's right and what's wrong, and to differentiate between fantasy and reality and so on and so forth.
But listen to me. If you listen to me, we have situations where the police is wrong. We know that, but we also have situations where these young men they feel that they're more bad than anybody, and they could point a gun, they could shoot at the police, they could threaten the police, and they're not like us. They're in They're in gangs, they organize.
But plenty of them just want to be and talking and loud and saying nothing. And the police, or these toy police, you know, they take that for much more than it really is and overreact. It's just a bunch of garbage that's going on, man, on both sides.
Shara's going to try to log in now. Let's watch out for her.
Yeah.
So we just want her to give her a couple minutes of her time and give us a little feedback and update what's taking place down there.
Hey, look, Troy Smith. Troy, oh, you know, I don't understand that. Troy, you're coming like Little Ron Horner now. Cheese biscuit, cheese steak, cashew nuts, Ellis Island. Who's the other one? Breadstick. Not see.
Watch out for Shara, she's trying to log in.
Yeah. Little Ron Horner. You're a Troy Smith say. And Slim, 2025, you will still vote PNM. PNM in your veins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All the old heads.
But Diana, you know what I will do in 2025? I don't even know what I will do in 2025.
You're going to vote for PNM, all the old heads.
But we have people like Little Ron Horner, cheese sticks, fish sticks, who's the other one? Wallafield nuts. Them fellas already saying they're gonna vote for UNC in 2025. And them don't even see the policy. What the policy
they lock out the people.
But they're comparing none of policy, they're comparing the performance and how they were treated. That's what they're looking at.
So Gary, you don't know what your manifesto is in 2025, but you still gonna vote for that party.
But they hadn't looked manifesto. They've seen. I mean, look at all the UNC people that came on this show, right? Look at the caliber of people. Look at the way of thinking and the answers that they give you here. The credibility Gary, with them.
I want to see a manifesto.
Manifesto too.
Gary,
that's all right. But what I'm saying, we look at
the tell you vote no for the SOE. Say no to the SOE. And when they went in Parliament, they abstained. The UNC say we implementing the property tax, right? And when they're out of government, they say they won't add the tax. Come on, man.
No. They stopped that. Don't spin that way. Because they stopped it. They stopped Hawaii. Kamala stop Hawaii from going forward.
No, they didn't stop Hawaii. You want me to read it for you? I haven't here, you know. Let me read it for you.
They didn't go forward with it. They didn't go forward with it.
Let me read it for you. I will read it for you. On the Monday, December the 21st, 2009, during the last sitting of Parliament, that is under Patrick Manning, the property tax bill was passed with the 22 PNM members voting for the bill and 10 UNC members voting against. On January 1st, 2010, the property tax became law. That same year, the People's Partnership promised to axe the tax. This is facts. I don't make these stuff, but that's why I write it down. Promised to axe the tax. They got into office, and it was a promise they did not keep. They promised to axe the tax when they get into office, right? Now, the only change that was made by the PP government during their term was the suspension of the payment of tax for the period January 2010 to January 2015, which the PNM also did when they came into office in 2015 to further suspend the tax to December 2018. That is facts. That is facts. That's not fiction. That is facts.
Okay, so they suspended it, but they didn't collect on nobody. But they were supposed to change the law.
Before they came into office, they said they're going to axe the tax. And when they went into office, they proclaimed property tax. Come on, man. I'm reading it there for you. That's facts.
But they didn't move forward on collecting anything.
Gary, you see, Gary? Gary, you see that? You see that? You want to read it for you again, or? That's facts, right?
You're twisting this thing around. They didn't move forward with collecting it. And plus, also, what PNM is coming with is a very oppressive estimate of collecting taxes.
But you hear me last sentence. Let me read it again for you. The only change that was made by the PP government during their term was the suspension of payment of the tax for the period January 2010 to December 2015.
But she put a lot of things to assist our people.
That's all they did.
Look up for Shara. We will continue.
Yeah, which the PNM did. The PNM also did when they came into office in 2015. So all of them, same thing.
But look at what they come up with. Look up what they come up with. They want to tax you based on what your property could be rented for. That is madness. And then that money, you see Shara?
Yeah,
Shara?
Yeah,
okay, bring she in.
Anyway, Ellis, I agree, Ellis, and Lana, you're right too.
What she say? And we will get back to she.
Ellis,
how are you? Unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just realized. I'm good. How are you? How are you all?
We are doing fantabulous here. How are you?
Shara, sophisticated lady.
Yes, it's been a while since I have joined you all in the village.
That's right. What's going on in Barbados,
Shara.
girl?
Thank you, Tommy.
What's going on in Barbados?
Well, in regards to COVID, it's not looking so well here. I think the dashboard, which would have been from yesterday, we have 217 new cases. I think right now there is a live discussion with the Minister of Health and some others. They're saying that, they're too overwhelmed. They have very, very, very few beds remaining. And I think they're saying, like the private doctors and so on need to come on board to help them with dealing with the numbers that they have of those who are infected. It's very bad.
Where is it coming from?
No, it's in the community.
Community
so people
spread.
Just need to follow protocols, Diana.
They're not the Bajans hard ears. Them ain't listening.
Yes.
What they doing?
They're not following the protocols.
They're not social distancing and they're not wearing the mask and all that.
No, or they might know that they were contact and then they still go out doing stuff. And well, that's what's alleged. Those are the stories I have heard, like they would know they test positive, then they know they have to go into isolation, they have to get stuff instead of them like asking someone, or I guess being able to make alternate arrangements. They are going into the public domain and interacting and doing whatever they have to do. So it's just a real mess.
Shara, are the beaches open?
Pardon me?
The beaches.
Are the beaches
Yeah.
open?
The only thing
Okay.
right now are that we're on curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And well, no fets. Anything that like attracts large numbers in close quarters, nothing like that can happen. But no, the beaches are fully open. No restrictions there. Just once you obviously are not there during the hours when we're meant to be indoors.
Diana was gonna go in and take a skinny dip and run out. Quick, quick, quick.
Well, you have until 9 p.m., Diana.
I was gonna go and let 901 catch me in the water.
Yeah, so I mean, things are all bad, and I guess like in a lot of the, I would say the Caribbean countries, there's a lot of the vaccine hesitancy, which I understand, but it's the ones who just aren't doing the right things and having consideration for others.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think, and what the part I think that's really capturing the attention from like the international agencies are the number of children who are coming down with COVID, especially the Delta variant.
Oh wow.
And I just saw an article today where Paho is saying, like us in the Eastern Caribbean, that we definitely are having great difficulties with having oxygen. Because, obviously, once the situation is as grave as it is, oxygen really is what is needed. And, you end up in situations where there's a shortage.
Oh.
Wow.
Vaccinated people polluting everywhere they pass and touch highly.
Uh,
Oh Lord.
well, well, I mean, like the vaccinated people, some of them obviously have contracted the disease, but majority of them, they are not like in the primary isolation or on ventilators or so.
Mm.
And unfortunately, majority of the deaths that we've heard of are those who are not vaccinated, and majority have comorbidities. Because
Mm.
I don't know if y'all are aware, but Barbados has a very high number of people who suffer
Diabetics.
from diabetes,
Hmm.
hypertension, heart disease, things like that because of our obesity issues. A lot of the times that's why it's
They need to
caused
leave the
by.
rum alone and the pudding
Oh
and
oh.
So
sauce.
guys, hold,
And the
Sarah, hold
macaroni
1 minute.
pie.
Yeah, Sarah, hold 1 minute. We gotta go for a quick station identification. It's in
Okay.
the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. We're gonna go for a quick station identification. We'll be right back. It's in the village with the dark triplets. Take and stay. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And we have with us out of Barbados, one of our correspondents, we can say, Shara. So, Shara, continue to give us a little update of what's going on in Barbados.
Yes, I was just saying, like a lot of the times, a lot of people have the comorbidities, um, mainly because I guess of our like obesity crisis here as well, which has been highlighted in previous years. But sugar and salt, those really are causes for a lot of the issues right now. And as I was saying before, unfortunately, a lot of the deaths that have happened from COVID are those who are unvaccinated and have these comorbidities. Most times it's like diabetes and hypertension. So that's where we
Okay.
are there.
How is our students in
Shara,
Barbados?
after
Any
you,
you hearing from them?
Well, there's still one student who I assist every month.
Right.
And then like from time to time, there's still some people who know that the borders are open and it's easier for them to get into Trinidad. Like I'll be in contact with them and then they're just here like maybe for an overnight or something like that. I would take them stuff as well.
Oh, they
So there's still that stuff going on here.
They're maintaining contact with you. That's good to know.
Yeah, some people, well, we would have been in contact with from the time the borders were closed because they were stranded.
Yeah.
And now they are able to get home. It's easier for them because, they don't have to go through the whole process of waiting for an exemption or so. It's easier for them to go through and apply.
Right.
So
Were you
yes.
able to get any?
And I think also too, some of them were taking advantage of being able to get the vaccine in the countries that they were in.
Yeah. So, were you able to get any funding towards that particular student or not?
No.
No, nobody. Oh, okay.
No. But there were
Sharon,
other things which I told her to do as well.
Right.
So we're just waiting to see if other funding can happen.
Right.
Some of the places, mainly within UE, like the Student Guild, I think, and so on, who
Right.
offer that type of assistance. They said that they only look at those types of cases once school was back in session. So now that it is, they're reviewing everybody who has applied, and I guess they will make the decisions and let
Right.
people know how much funds can be dispersed to them to assist.
Right.
So Shara, we wanna thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure, and we appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a good night.
All right,
Later.
Shara, thanks a lot. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
good night, Sharon. Good night, Sharon.
Yeah. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One of our little correspondents there out of Barbados. So let's bring in our next guest in the village, the Dark Triplets. Somebody have nice music, but...
Hi, good night. How are you?
Hello,
My
Senator.
sister.
Senator, you need dark a little bit. You want to put a little light on?
Okay. Senator's still out and working.
Oh, okay. That's all right. That's good. There we go.
You see me?
Yeah. That's fantastic. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Course
So,
and
Senator,
meetings, trying to juggle all this
all
stuff.
right.
Yeah. What's up?
So welcome back again. Of course, it's in the village with the Dark Triplets. So because you know the D is Diana. Diana is considered to be the storm. A is myself, Anselm. Anselm is considered to be Flash or Wall Street. G is Gary. Gary is considered to be the Phantom. And we have another person with us who is Tommy. Tommy is considered to be Outside Child, and the ladies in the chat call him the Love Child. So welcome, Senator, to In the Village with the
Hi,
Dark
good
Triplets.
night. Good night to all the viewers. Thank you.
Yeah, but I must say to you, I must say to you, a lot of people are saying we can't wait for Senator to get into the village. You know,
you have a lot of male admirers in the chat. The lady married. The lady married. Watch all yourself. Okay.
No, I'm not married. Why?
You see, Diana, why you marrying the woman? You see, look at that. You marrying the woman already. Please, Diana.
Okay, she
married
married.
in the village? No.
Yeah,
look, little Ron Horner. Oh, Ron Horner, you dash me away for a younger woman now.
So, Senator, I think when you were coming, you were gonna kind of give us an update with respect to property tax, right? Talk to us about this property tax,
well,
because
look, a lot of people, when 2017, when the property tax, when they first tried to implement the property tax, Mr. Anaram Logan and I were two of the attorneys affiliated to the UNC who took the matter to court. And so because of that, everyone comes to me now to talk property tax. And what happened is that, look, the government got a second bite of the cherry. Having gone through that court matter, they have now issued what we call the public notice pursuant to Section 29, which requires you to give information about your property. And that is a form that you would see TT Post dropping across at your house. It's available online and so on. And they have also invoked a section of the Valuation of Lands Act, which says that they can fine you $5,000 for not providing the information. It really, a lot of people tell you, well, what if I just don't fill out this form? Is it gonna stay off this tax? Because we are at a time in our country where people have assets, but they don't have income. And it's as a direct result, not a direct result of the pandemic, but the mismanagement of the pandemic by the PNM administration. Because to date, people who own bars and people who own restaurants and people who own, different types of businesses in the entertainment sector are unable to earn income, but they still have their assets. And now you are coming to tax their assets. So at a time like this, when, for example, children are going to school and parents may make an investment in renovating their homes, for example. A woman actually told me, she said, I never had air conditioning in my house, but my children have been doing online school for the last year within our house, and I decided I would make it a little more comfortable for them. And so she air conditioned her whole house. Do you know that's one of the questions on this form that you have to fill out now is how many AC units you have in your house? And they are actually going to consider your house as having a higher rental value based on the number of AC units, and they are going to tax you more based on that. I mean, think about it at this time. I'm not saying that property tax isn't a necessity, and we had land and building taxes before, which were very low and I admit probably needed to be reviewed. But at a time like this, when the population is just crying out, people do not have a revenue stream, and you have done so little as a government to assist people in having a viable source of income, you are only imposing tax. And the reason for that is that this government has two plans to raise money and to pay their debts: tax and borrowing. And that's all they have done. They have not done anything to create, look, the energy sector, as we all know, is not producing the kind of revenue that the government needs. But they have done absolutely nothing in 6 years to enhance non-energy revenue streams, particularly non-energy exports that could, really, boost our foreign exchange position. So apart from dipping into the HSF and taxing people and borrowing money, they have done absolutely nothing to improve our revenue position. And that's just the sad reality of it. But what I want to say too is that, and I said this last night on another show that I was on, that people have to, if there's one lesson to be learned, is that we need to pay better attention. Because after 2017, when we stymied the government's attempt to impose the property tax, they came to Parliament twice and amended the law. And the PNM governments have consistently, maintained that they are going to bring the property tax, and people still voted them back into office. Now, the argument that they bring is that in other countries you pay property tax, and they say that the People's Partnership government didn't stop property tax and didn't take it off the books and all of that, right? That's true. The thing about it is there's nothing wrong with implementing a taxation on property and on assets and so on. We have many taxes that are levied on assets. Like every time you buy and sell property, you pay stamp duty. That's sort of a tax that's implemented on your acquisition of an asset, right? But there are two things. One is the timing of this tax, and two, it's the manner in which the tax is assessed on this, what your house could possibly be rented for. And I would add a third dimension to that, which is something that I thought we would have seen before we saw the rollout of the property tax, and that is local government reform. Because I'll tell you this, in other countries, when you pay property tax, it's like a local tax. It goes towards the improvement of the roads, the schools, the health centers, the bridges, everything in your area. This property tax is going to central government. So a man in Davie who has something resembling a crater outside of his house in the road or obstacle course. So if he lives in Sign Village, the whole road has collapsed and he cannot even, you have to, do you know now if you're going to if you want to get from Pinal to Savaria, you have to make a big rounds around. I'm not sure they fixed it, but for a period of time, you had to make a whole rounds around through Thick Village and all kind of thing because the road basically collapsed. And last month, we've seen several roads and bridges collapse. In other countries, property tax would be applied to maintenance of roads and bridges and so on in the local authority. We don't have that. So the man in Davie who has an obstacle course for a road in front of his house, one pothole meeting the next, is paying property tax on his house based on how nice it is and how much it could be rented for. But that money might be building the Prime Minister's residence in Tobago, and that is the offensive part of property tax. It also takes no account of your income. It just taxes your assets. And again, at a time like this, when people are, have lost their income stream, business people in particular have suffered tremendously. And look at it. Business people have assets. They have commercial property. They would be valued the highest. They're the ones that might bear the burden of property tax, but they will have to pass it on to the ultimate consumer. But at the same time, you want your commercial, people who own commercial properties, your businesses and so on, to also be competitive. You want them to recover. You want your economy to rebound. You want to encourage economic activity. Do you really want to create a situation where business people have no choice but to raise their prices so that they pass on this property tax to the ultimate consumer? Food prices are rising, but when you tax agricultural land, who do you think is paying that tax? It is the ultimate consumer who is buying the bodi and the bhaji and the pumpkin in the market, who will pay the property tax. And this is the same person when they finish buying the bodi and the bhaji and they go home, they're paying tax for that house. So you and I, the average person on the street, you are going to feel this tax 2 or 3 times over. And that's the problem that we have here. So the honorable political leader has made several calls that, look, this property tax, the timing is all wrong, it needs to stop, and we are really going on a serious campaign to stop the tax. Many people will remember that in 2009 the property tax issue, when it came up under the Manning administration, was a serious blow, and the country came together to oppose this tax. And I think that we need to do the same thing now, because we are in worse and more dire straits now than we were in 2009, and yet we see this administration wanting to impose this property tax at a time like this. And I think if there's nothing else for us to come together on as a country to oppose, it is the implementation of this property tax.
But Senator, I want to say something, right, Senator? Mm-hmm. I think in 2009, the UNC campaign on Axe the Tax. Okay?
Right.
And when the UNC came into power in 2010, they had a great opportunity to axe the tax. However, when they got into just let me finish the comment. However, when they got into office, the only change that they made during their term was the suspension of the payment of tax from the period January 2010 to January 2015, which the PNM also did when they came into office in 2015 to further suspend the tax to 2018. So I find it is a little disingenuous that when the UNC was in power, they had a great opportunity to actually axe the tax, and they did not.
Well, 2 reasons for that. One is that the UNC started to discuss local government reform, which, if you had local government reform, you would have had a system whereby tax collection on the value of property would have actually made more sense. We were in much different economic circumstances as well as that time. The country was booming in that period of time that the UNC was in government. So there was
But that would have been a great opportunity for them to axe the tax then. That would have been a great opportunity.
Really. Well, not really, because people could afford to pay property tax during that period of time. So, but there's another issue too, is that the Property Tax Act repealed the Land and Building Taxes Act. Now, I want you to go back home to your house. Do you remember long ago, they used to have these little house cards that you used to keep your grandmother, and they used to keep it like in a little safe or somewhere that people could come and look at it. I will look at the kind of land and building taxes you were paying at the time, right? You're paying something like $7 a year, things like that. It was very, very, very low. So I'm not saying that they didn't need a system of reforming perhaps the tax regime, but the system that was used. So you can't just go and repeal property tax altogether. You look at the system that is used for assessing properties. This concept of assessing your property based on what you could rent it for, what they call annual rental value, is where we have a big issue. So we're looking at alternative methods, perhaps, of assessing the property. You're looking at different, different means and mechanisms. And the fact of the matter is, if you collect taxes based on the properties owned in an area, but you apply the tax to that area. Look at the tax in the gasoline for the road or whatever it is. What do they call it? Road tax is part of the tax you pay when you buy gas. Yeah, the gas tax. It's supposed to be for the maintenance of roads. And are you seeing that money being spent there? But if you are paying tax on your property and you see it being applied to maintaining the roads in front of your house, you see it being applied to maintaining it, then it's a little more, palatable. It is also, again, as I say, the timing of this tax and the pandemic puts a whole different dimension on things. So if in 2013 or 2014, for example, where people had jobs, the lower look, taxation at the end of the day is a way of redistribution of income to create better income inequality, right, within our society. And every social democracy in the world kind of subscribes to a system of that. You want to have income redistribution. You want to have a system whereby, people who have assets are taxed, people who earn income, they are taxed, people who can buy luxury goods are taxed. And it's a way of returning a form of revenue for the government that they could then spend for goods and services and so on for the lower income earners in society. We accept that. But the point is now where you have your people who would have previously been earning very high incomes and investing those incomes in assets like buildings and properties. And think about every single restaurant in Port of Spain on Arapita Avenue if people own the property, right? And you have to pay tax now on what you could rent that property for, but you have not been allowed to open and you have not been allowed to earn proper income for a period of almost over a year. Do you think that is fair? Do you think that is a fair system to be able to do you think that's a fair burden to impose on people at a time like this? And that's the question. So
and I agree with you. I fully agree with you that the timing is not the right time, right? But so, for example, we have a question here in the chat, Miss Lutchmedial. Back in 2009, which was actually 2010 to 2015, UNC wanted to bring back property tax. What caused the UNC not to implement it? I mean, at that point in time, the economy of Trinidad was booming and people were making money. So to me, that would be the right time to impose a property tax because people are making money. So if we're making the analysis that no, if people are not making money and it's the wrong time, wasn't 2010 to 2015 the right time though?
We see at the time there were plans and systems and so on in place whereby the government had alternative revenue streams and we were earning income in different things. So it wasn't really like, and it's actually why burden the citizens with taxes when you have alternative revenue streams? We had income coming in from different areas. The HSF had deposits going into it. The HSF is basically the savings accounts of the country. And you had a government running a country in such a way that they were actually putting money away in savings. So why impose taxes on people at a time like that? That's the question.
Plus, Mrs. Bisesa didn't want to add more burden to the people. In fact, she removed some of the things that were oppressive and put things in place to
Listen to me. We cut VAT on essential food items, on things like Pampers and milk for babies and stuff like that. Do you know the PNM campaign in 2015 on cutting VAT to 12.5%, and people buy that wholesale, take baskets and vote for them? And do you know what they did? They cut VAT to 12.5%, but they put it back on all the critical non-essential items, the items that the poorest people in society needed a release upon. When you, as a single mother, for example, who may not have a stable job or you're working for minimum wage or something like that, could go into a grocery one day under the People's Partnership government and pay no VAT whatsoever on something like milk and Pampers. And the next day when PNM comes into power, you are paying 12.5%. Do you think you have made the right choice? That is the question. That is the question we have to ask ourselves. So there's only one, I keep saying this, there's only one thing the PNM good at, and that is propaganda and distraction. And they're distracted away from critical issues so they sell a whole narrative to the population about cutting VAT. And yes, VAT cut to 12.5%, but it went back on every non-essential item. Now, the UNC government has always had policies in place to deal with the most vulnerable in society. And they've undone all, they mash up all of that. Baby grants, things like that. Look, people thought that baby grant. I remember when it came out, people thought the baby grant was something like, oh, you're rewarding, women for having children, this, that, the other. At the end of the day, it's not for you, and it's not for me. It's for the vulnerable people in society to have a chance to come out of the cycle of poverty. And that is what the People's Partnership Government focused on. So when we were collecting tax dollars based on better commodity prices, based on alternative revenue streams, based on all sorts of different things that we were doing, we were spending that money and investing it. When we invested in things like the Racket Center and the Cycling Center and the Hoover Children's Hospital and the started the Arima Hospital and the Point Fortin Hospital thing. That was for different types of medical and sport tourism. So we were creating alternative revenue streams. When PNM collect tax, where it going? It's going to buy painting. It's going to build the Prime Minister residence in Tobago. It's going to spend, I don't know, millions of dollars on redoing Skinner Park, which is 10 minutes away from Manny Ramjohn Stadium and the Brian Lara Stadium. I don't know how much stadium they think it need to have in one little, area in San Fernando. And I'm from San Fernando, so don't get me wrong. If there's anybody who loves the development of San Fernando, it'll be me. But at the end of the day, I have to look at how money is being spent. Right? You can't put up a proper tent and some chairs outside a health center when people are lining up for the whole day to get a vaccine. But you are spending millions of dollars to reduce Skinner Park. I mean, come on.
But Senator, we keep it real when you come into the village, right? Let me ask a question from someone in the chat. I'm going to get back to this. Someone says,
but she's giving you some real education there.
No, because Gary,
she's giving you some real information.
No, we keep it real when we come in the chat. It's cool. It's all good.
She's giving you some real information.
So Gary, all right. So let me get to this point then. So, Senator, we also see that under the UNC there was a lot of, we call it floodlightings or floodlights put up at many facilities across Trinidad and Tobago, and the facilities was not even playable. I could know for a fact. There's one in Valsain. They have nice floodlights, right? And the grass just goes 6 feet high. You can't even use the field, right? The surface to run around the thing is like a road with potholes. But we have floodlights. We have floodlights in it. And there's many facilities across the country like that where you put up floodlights, but you can't use the facilities.
Right, so, but is that a question of the facility itself, or is that a question of maintenance? Because that's another problem we have in this country. We build lots of nice things, but we don't maintain them.
Well, I mean,
so is that a question of maintenance?
Well, the UNC put it up.
Listen, there's a difference between development and maintenance. And the problem we have now is that whilst we were investing money in developing facilities, you have a government in place now that's not maintaining them. So you can't be too hard on people, or you can't criticize development because of a failure of maintenance. The two things go hand in hand. Look at the San Fernando Teaching Hospital. All right, let me give you an example. That was a big investment under the People's Partnership Administration. I shudder to think sometimes what would have happened to us with COVID if we didn't invest in things like the DB campus, the Hoover Children's Hospital, other places that were used as centers and so on for step-down facilities or to quarantine or whatever it is. But the point is that, you don't... Development is essential, but it's also essential to maintain. And why are they not maintaining things? Why are they not cutting the grass? So you put up floodlights on a ground or a sports ground, whatever it is, and there is the potential for it to be, useful to the community, to encourage athletes to train to whatever and things like that.
Safety, the floodlight was an issue of safety also. Was it make the place people feel safe?
Right. Would you exactly? Would you go and run or exercise in the night or do something that have floodlights? The point of the matter is that you can't stymie development because you don't have money for maintenance. It's part and parcel of it. You have to maintain things when you build it. That's a problem that has existed for a long time in our country. But I'm it's not a reason to not invest in development because there's a problem with maintenance.
Well, so I have a question for you.
Gary, let me get a question from the chat. Gary, hold on. There's a question from the chat. Question to Ms. Lutchmedial. Why do you want people to appeal property tax when all the opposition are the ones to help stop the property tax?
Are the ones who?
Stop the property tax. Are the ones to stop the property tax.
Yeah, I mean, we do want to stop it at this point in time. We think that right now it's a bit too burdensome on the population, but so but there's very little you can do except advocate. The opposition, look, the opposition doesn't have the power to have a legislative intervention in terms of stopping property tax, right? We can't go to the parliament and stop it. What we can do at this point in time is advocate and encourage people to sort of oppose it and to protest against it and to let their feelings be heard. At the end of the day, it's a political issue. Now I hear people all the time, oh, go to court, go to court, go to court. It's not a legal issue, it's a political issue. And just like 2009, where the population let their feelings be very well known to the government about how they felt about property tax, I think the time has come for that as well. They need to do the same thing now. They need to be very vocal about their opposition to the tax. The opposition cannot save you from the PNM. You have to save yourself, and you have to turn your anger and your discontent into political action. That's the only way that you will really have change in this country. I mean, yes, the opposition will highlight the issues and educate you. That's what I'm doing now, right? That's why I'm here to speak to whatever size of audience is listening, and any opportunity I get to speak to people, I do it because that's what I consider to be my role as a member of the opposition, is to educate people about the issues. But the people have to listen, they have to understand, they have to educate themselves and want to know, and then they have to take action. And I think the action in this case is really political action.
But the thing about it is, we are restrained by an SOE, so we have to improvise.
Somebody asked me the other day if I thought the SOE was really extended because they knew about all the things that would be going on, and they thought that there would be protests.
I think they
And
conveniently
sometimes
using
I really
that.
wonder. Sometimes I really wonder because when I heard the justification for the extension of the SOE, proffered in the parliament, it made really very, very little sense to me. I mean, you had Alwari talking about we need regulations so people could give injection. They talk about, different things like the time. And look, they've extended the curfew by an hour. COVID has come out 10 o'clock, beyond 10 o'clock, as opposed to 9 o'clock now. I mean, it makes no sense. None of their policies make sense. You are going to allow only vaccinated children to come to school to be taught by an unvaccinated teacher. I mean, nothing that they do really has logic, reasoning, and makes sense. And one of the basic things about laws is that they ought to make sense if you want people to comply with it. You know what I mean? And that's the problem we have now, is that many of their laws don't actually make sense. Sorry, I think my battery is dying, so my camera might have gone off. Are you all hearing me still?
Yeah, we're still hearing you. We're still hearing you.
Oh, yeah, my battery's a little bit dying here, so it's coming off. But yeah, I mean that's the basic premise of it. That you have to be able to, people have to understand laws, and they have to feel it makes sense if they're going to abide by it. When you tell people that in the middle of a pandemic you want to tax their assets, do you expect people to be happy about that, as opposed to, I don't know, a time when things are doing well in society, and when people are earning income and so on, and they could afford to pay the tax? I mean, I take your point that perhaps in 2010 to 2015, when the country was booming and we had economic growth, maybe you would tax the property. But I strongly say that, and I know for a fact that the People's Partnership government did not believe in creating a burden on people just for the sake of it, just for the sake of fattening the treasury.
So there we go, folks. We lost her because of her.
She's still out there.
Yeah. She,
but you got some real education there, answer.
Well, I mean,
you got some answers to your question. You got some answers to your question. Now you see the vast difference. You've seen the vast difference between a UNC administration and a PNM administration, where they were trying to get return on the investment on the money tax. They was not oppressive. They put things in place to supplement the people. I hope Ms. Diana was listening of the sustenance that was put in place.
Gary, come on, Gary.
Did you remove the VAT? and the milk and all these different things. Come on.
Gary,
This party
time,
they keep calling themselves a PNM.
But Gary, the best time to have implemented that property tax was between prior to 2015. And I'm not saying 2010 to 2015. I'm saying prior to 2015.
Implement the tax. Now, what I'm saying to you, you see what the nature of the structure is where the PNM is coming with here now? They want to tax you based on what your property can be rented for. I think she's coming back.
She's back with us. Gary, she's back with us. Hold on.
Oh.
There you go. You're back with us.
You hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the point of it now. It's left up to the imagination of every right-thinking citizen to think about, well, where are my tax dollars going to go? How is it going to be used by the PNM administration? What have I seen as what can you point to as the accomplishments of this administration in the last 6 years that gives you confidence that when you pay this tax, it would be used, in a manner to benefit me, my children, my society, and society as a whole?
Well, the local government reform is absolutely necessary for that money to be going into that direction in the first place.
Correct, I agree. Yes.
And that property tax should not have been implemented at this stage because they have not done so. So the structure is lacking in a place like how we have it in the States here, where the money goes to do certain things within your municipality. We don't have that structure, and that is something that needs to be fixed, and we should be raising our voice. Now, what I would like to suggest, I know we understand that they're conveniently utilizing the SOE to restrain people from mobilizing, like they tried to stop the candlelight movement, which was growing tremendously. So we have to improvise.
And they blame the candlelight movement entirely for the spread of COVID. I remember that.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
And they can't prove that.
Well.
Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is that we mobilize. If we can't make it a protest, when you mobilize in your community, wherever you are, and you protest from wherever you are.
There are different ways that you could show what we call civil disobedience. And by no means am I encouraging any kind of violent behavior and all of that. But I'm saying that people have to find a way to express their discontent with the government. It cannot just be that we are under a state of emergency. It cannot just be that because of COVID that we are going to stay quiet and accept whatever is the government. That is really just sacrificing your rights. It is really just surrendering your rights at the altar of, and sometimes I feel like, the COVID. I started using the term Roach is a COVID dictator, right? And the reason for that is because I feel like COVID became the excuse, and COVID became the reason and the excuse why everything was the way that it was, and that they use it as a justification to really circumscribe your rights as a citizen to express your views, to do all kinds of for all kinds of different things. I'm sorry, I have some very rowdy neighbors. Sorry if you're hearing all this music.
But can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Diana.
All right. Why did members of the opposition abstain when the vote came up for the SOE?
Because, listen, the extension of the SOE did not require opposition support, right? First to begin with. And the thing about it is that the government loves a scapegoat. So if we didn't support it, for example, and things go to hell the way it's going to hell now, Delta is in community spread, for example, that if we had voted no, for example, on that, right? And then they say, you know what? When we try our best to get things done and to save this country, and the opposition didn't support us, and that's why we have community spread now. So we simply say, go ahead, what you want? We're not standing in your way. But you will fail anyhow. And so said, so done. They are failing. And I keep making the point that this government, no matter whether you support them, you don't support them, what suggestions you offer, nothing helps them. They fail, and they fail repeatedly because they're just incompetent. And as the bottom line, they are just incompetent.
But Senator, I have a problem with really blaming and this and that. You are put there to represent the people, and I am a born Trinbagonian, but I have Bajan connection to it. So I'm concerned for the human resource of Trinidad and Tobago. And the human resource of Trinidad and Tobago is its children, its young people. And if you're not taking a responsible stance to stand up for the young people, how are we going to get things done? Now, had you guys gone up against them and tell them, well, no more SOE, perhaps then, they will see you as a formidable.
Well, what would have changed if the opposition voted no? Wouldn't they have still passed it?
I would. How could they have passed it if they didn't have enough votes? Is that possible?
Because it's a simple. Yes, it's a simple majority now in street. That's the point. You see, a lot of people don't even understand the law, and I criticize the opposition. The law says that the government can extend the state of emergency for further 3 months by simple majority, and a simple majority means one extra vote, and they have that in the parliament. The people who give them the vote, the ones who have to be angry about it, and they direct their anger towards the UNC right now because they think that the UNC should save them from the government that they put there. But you put them there, and they're riding roughshod over your rights and freedoms now because you put them there to do that. So the point of the matter is that whether the UNC could have voted no, yes, indifferent, abstain, whatever, they were passing it. The next time they come out of the Constitution, they need a majority, a special majority, and I could guarantee you, almost, save and except any extremely extenuating circumstances, that the opposition will not support it because they have not given us any evidence to say that it's working, right? But the fact of the matter is one vote is a majority, and they would have passed it. So whether the UNC vote changes nothing about whether the PNM will going to extend this SOE or not.
So where is this law? Is this an old law or is this a new law?
No, it's right there in the Constitution that governs the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Supreme Law of Trinidad and Tobago gives the government that power. Yes.
But so it's not. But Diana, I think the bigger question is that the UNC was saying to its supporters outside the parliament to say no to the SOE. And when they went into the parliament, they abstained. And there was no, you could either yes, no, or abstain. The UNC decided to say no. And to me, it appears no was for political reasons. Because, sustaining was for political reasons. Because in the future, you can't say, well, listen, when time comes to vote on a SOE, we said no back in 2021 as an example. So I thought that was, somewhat disingenuous, and that you had people outside, you telling people outside no, and when you went inside, you abstained.
Well, you could, I feel you all could have said no.
As I said, what do you think it would have changed? Yes or no? Would it have changed the outcome? No, it would not have, right? But what it would have done? It would have provided a scapegoat for all of the failures that have occurred since then, from August to now. The government says the opposition rise up the population, the opposition support, the opposition tell people don't obey the SOE, the opposition this, the opposition. Listen to me. I remember Rowley stood up in Parliament and he essentially blamed the opposition for every single mistake and misstep that they have made in this COVID pandemic. And that's a fact. They will blame every opposition and take responsibility for nothing. And you know what? It's the population that lets them get away with that. It's the media. It's the trade unions. It's the business associations. They made elderly people line up in hot sun and rain and thunderstorm for days when they tell everybody, come and get a vaccine outside the health center. And you know what Terrence the health say? Sorry. And everybody say, all right. And we move on from there.
Now I'm seeing
nobody holds them to account. Nobody holds them to account. But then they say, well, what are the opposition doing? What are the opposition doing? The opposition does not have the power. What you want us to do? You want us to burn down the parliament? We can't do that. We can advocate, we can educate the population. But if the population can't stand up for themselves, nothing will change.
Senator, I always say that with the state we're in today, we had a golden opportunity in the People's Partnership to reset, to get to fix that.
Hey, let me tell you something. I told somebody the other day, they talk about the opposition is weak and what the worst day under a UNC government or a partnership government is the best day under the PNM. The best day of the PNM cannot compare to the worst day. The best day of
I'm not disputing that. All I'm saying is that we had a golden opportunity to reset that constitution and reset the way things are done as a whole in Trinidad under that partnership, and they dropped the ball, and it pains me.
Well, the process of constitutional reform did actually begin. There was a report, but these things take time. You don't rush these things. When you go on your rush and you try to change process and way things are, you end up with? You end up with that order that we have right now governing the appointment of a commissioner of police. And I don't want to say any more of that about that because I'm involved in those litigation matters.
5 years is not enough time to sort that out.
Yeah, when you see you come and you ram something through the parliament without thinking it out carefully, that is what you end up with. So the process of constitutional reform, I agree, is necessary. Reform our constitution and perhaps give a little more, have more checks and balances on government power and so on. But it's a process. It started with recommendations. There was a commission and so on, and it was being done. And I think that the educated population. Let me tell you something. The population didn't focus on whether there was a commission with recommendations for constitutional reform in 2015 when they were voting. What they were thinking about? They were thinking about email gates. A lie and a fabrication.
That came towards the end. That came towards the end of the tenure.
No,
but I'm talking about right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, it was being told that we're going to get a constitutional reform, and once the governance set in, that seemed to go at snail's pace.
But what she's saying, things were put into place, Tommy.
Do you know we had a commission set up that had extensive consultations and reports and so on constitutional reform under the People's Partnership government?
I believe you.
And that report is sitting there collecting dust that the PNM refused to do anything with it.
But every single thing that has been done, I agree. But
coming out of a commission of inquiry into the coup, making several recommendations to enhance security, to give relief to people. And our report so and the PNM government have not implemented a single one of the recommendations.
But I realize that it's commonplace to analyze till you get paralyzed in every single thing. There's just no movements on things, and that's really bad. That's poor.
Like I say, if the population had focused in 2015 on all the work the partnership government had put into place at the time that they were in government and wanted to see the continuation of that work, we would have had a different situation today. We'd have had a different government in place today, and I think that all the standard of living of this country would have been 100 times better.
Senator, someone asked, what's happening with the baby grants?
They scrapped it. I mean, they scrapped it. That's what they've done. They've scrapped the baby grant. They've cut almost all. They've cut a significant amount of grants and so on that were meant to assist the most vulnerable in society. And they make no apologies for it, and they seem to not really care about the impact of it. At a time like now, where more than ever, single mothers are suffering from loss and so on. They just sit down and boast about the fact that they've only processed 400.
I think we're losing.
Sorry, I think I got broke. I think my thing dropped. Yeah, they at some point in time a question was asked, so I don't know if it was in media or in parliament, but they were talking about that they only processed 4,000 out of 14,000 salary relief grants or something like that. Rowley was a question in parliament one day about when, and he said, well, maybe the end of the year or something. AB drilling should have to wait till the end of the year to collect their money, not people who are out of a job because you mismanaged the pandemic. You understand? I mean, at a time like this, when people are most suffering, the focus of this government is investing. They're investing in Train 1. They'll have NGC investing $400 million of your taxpayers' dollars in Train 1 when they have no gas and have no purchasers for the gas, right? But they cannot pay salary relief grants. And I don't know, somebody just texted me and they're like, oh my God, you sound so angry. But you know what? I am angry. I am angry at the state this country is in. And the fact of the matter is that not enough people are angry enough. Not enough people are angry. And that's why we still continue to be in this situation. You know,
but how do we channel this anger into a right formula that can make
you channel it into a red stain on your finger come election day.
Yeah, but we have to mobilize. We can't at this stage. The way I see things going, Jayanti, is that we cannot wait another 5 years for this government. We have to find a way to mobilize to throw this government out.
And you must pressure them. You must always, all of the associations and business groups and civil society. And, I saw one of my colleagues talk the other day, say between A.B. Drilling and this Commissioner of Police Debacle. I ain't hearing Transparency International. I ain't hearing all the Bishop. I ain't hearing the, people who come out with sanctimonious. Every time the UNC mash hands, you hear them, the thing, and they did it there, and everybody must hold the hold, and Kamala must fire this one, Kamala must fire that one. I ain't hearing enough people to anybody, every leader in this country, every trade unionist, every religious leader, every group, every NGO, everybody is supposed to be pressuring this government right now to answer and say, why have you lost $400 million in NGC? Who is it? Who did this money go to? Which contractors were paid? Everybody is supposed to be asking, why did the board of Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited decide to settle a claim, to settle this matter with AV Drilling instead of applying to the High Court, which their lawyers advised them to do? Why did they go against the advice of their own lawyers? Nobody is asking the important question. Everybody is giving them a free pass. But then they will come and say, but it's the opposition, the UNC ain't doing nothing. No, the UNC is the only body that's doing something. That's the fact. That is a fact. The UNC is the only body that's doing something. Everybody else is dropping the ball and doing absolutely nothing. And that is why we are where we are today. That people are focused. Like I say, I want to hear from all the editorials. I want to hear all the people who used to, have so much to say under the partnership administration about every little thing. I don't know where they are now and how they feel. I haven't heard anybody express an opinion on how they feel about a matter involving the self-proclaimed friend or the prime minister that identified as his friend getting a settlement when a former PNM candidate was named in an audit report involving fake oil. I haven't heard anybody say that they find that to be improper, which chairman of, and I think look like a prominent is my colleague, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's a nice guy. We have a good working relationship or whatever. But he's Prime Minister's personal lawyer, and he is the chairman of Petroleum Holdings Limited. And they met and they decided on these. Where are the voices that are supposed to be coming up and raising these questions, raising these and saying, no, we will not accept that. I ain't here, what do you call them? People who are trying to buy the refinery.
Roger,
them, yes.
Roger, where's
Roger?
Roger?
Where Roger mannequin? Where's the mannequin? You're supposed to be dragging a mannequin up and down tongue now. That AV Drilling get it. You're supposed to make a road mannequin, a AV Drilling mannequin, and drag it all over the place behind you. And don't come and tell me about COVID stopping you from doing that. That's what you're supposed to be doing all now, Roger. Not sitting down and just accepting and waiting until it's the opposition effective. That's a cop-out for everybody who doesn't want to take responsibility for the bad decisions that they made. That's the bottom line. Everybody made a very bad decision in 2015, and they repeated that very bad decision last year, and they're facing the consequences of the action right now. And I say it again. UNC may not be perfect and you can pinpoint things that the UNC could have, should have, would have do, but I tell you, the worst day under the partnership administration is still better than the best day under the PNM. The worst day of having Kamala Prasad Bissessar as a prime minister is still better than the best day of having Keith Rowley as a prime minister.
I can second that.
Yeah, when the population learns to accept that and take responsibility for that, I think we'll be in a better position now.
I see the effort to meet people's needs and to uplift people. I didn't see the effort to suppress people under her government.
Well, listen, we were. I think the partnership administration, if anything, gave the most leeway to express the views, to oppose, to engage. Do you remember the highway reroute movement and all of that? They did you ever see all of the criticism of Levy?
Mr. Kublal Singh.
Well,
Yeah.
Where Kublal Singh? I wonder how Kublal Singh feel about A.B. Drilling. I hate him. I find I should be hating him. But the thing about this is that we didn't oppress people and stop them from expressing their views. We took the decision to be in the interest of the development of the country and the majority of people. And so the government has to do, right? But nobody used any kind of high-handed power to oppress people. And let us point out state of emergency that we had or whatever. That was a very short state of emergency that actually was extended for 1 3-month period, and it was to deal with a specific national security issue. Totally different set of circumstances. Totally. And I say, you come to extend a state of emergency in Parliament, and I am asking anybody, I challenge anybody in this country to pinpoint to me one benefit that the state of emergency has had on COVID. We have people, average of 8 to 10 people dying every day in this country. We have an average of 150 to 200 new infections every day. You think that's a successful state of emergency? And they come with this nonsense. Well, you know what? It could have been much worse. I mean, really?
Yeah, but what about the people going hungry in the country? What about the people who cannot afford to buy their children books or feed their kids? I mean, what's going on with that? I mean...
Hey, let me tell you something. You put yourself in a position of a parent who has reduced working hours or reduced work altogether and may not be able to earn an income, and you have to do online school and you wait to get hand-me-down or free tablet from somebody who will hand it out to your child, and you have to try to find a way now to be innovative. And they'll tell you, well, you need to pivot. There are all these high and mighty consultants and people who say, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to pivot. Let me tell you something. Poor people who catch a tail in this country can't afford to pivot, right? They have to sit down and try and find a way to put food on the table. I'm still trying to promote their children's education and to sit with them. I am an educated woman, right? I have 3 degrees behind my name, and I catch in my day to make sure that my child has the same opportunity and that they are being taught and they're not missing out on education and they're still not that her development is being curtailed by this lockdown and all of that. And to work at the same time and to do what I have to do. Father for a woman who has not had the opportunities in her life that I have had. I'm exceptionally fortunate compared to the average person in this country. And I know that, and I'm grateful for it for every single day. But I cannot imagine the situation that other people are in because I catch my skin to make it work. So I cannot imagine what people who are much less fortunate than me are doing. But have you heard anybody talk about that? No, you have people writing in the paper. Well, this is your opportunity to learn to pivot, because that's the jargon, and that's what we do. Because that's what we celebrate in this country. People who can speak well, who can use the nice terms, and who can make things sound nice. But we don't care about the reality on the ground. We don't care what the people dealing with on the ground every single day. And this government in particular is out of touch with what's really happening on the ground.
Senator, parents can't even afford to pay for internet. So that means that you're going to see children falling off the grid. And you know me, like I say, I don't support no party in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't like the nonsense. I see it. So, and I've never lived under the other party, so I can't speak. So I want to know what it is they want them to go and pivot on. Pivot on a dance pole? What do you mean they want them to go pivot? What do you mean pivot?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what pivot and use whatever strengths you have to create new opportunities. And like I said, when your child has no access to school, when you have to choose between working or staying home and having your supervising your child in school, you have to choose between putting food on the table and making sure your child gets an education. You could
They need to pivot the key to the treasury and let go
choice
the check.
for you and for the future.
They need to pivot the keys to the treasury and let the money get to the needy people. That's what they need to pivot. Pivot that key, open up and do something.
Because if they open it, what you will see is debt. What they have is sort of debt in their funds in our treasury. They put any money into investing into train one. They paying AV drilling. They pay buying painting. They pay a prime minister's residence in Tobago. That is what the keys to the treasury being used to do, not to put internet in community centers so that children could still socially distance and attend during the day and have teachers supervising them so they could attend online classes. No, that would make too much sense. That would make too much sense, and that will serve too many of the people in this country, and they don't care about that. They care about painting.
Senator, I am a new voter. I never voted in Trinidad and Tobago. I migrated very young. Election time come. Now I down there catching my nenen like you say you catching your nenen. I tell people I will sell salt fish, but anyway. So how do you convince me as a new voter to, I've never voted, that you and your party is not going to do the same nonsense that the incumbent is doing?
People in life, in politics, and everything in life, you judge people by their actions and also by what their plans are, and then you hold them to account to their plans. People's Partnership Administration in 2015, UNC government 2020, we had plans for economic growth, for regeneration of the economy. But you must also judge us based on what we did between 2010 and 2015. As I say, nothing is perfect. Nothing was ever perfect. Yes, there were missteps and so on that were made. I personally find that, the best possible effort to correct those missteps were always taken. But I do really believe that you judge your options and you judge a government what it did. This is not a new part. This is a party that was in government. So at least leading the government at that time, right, through the partnership. So you can judge based on what you saw and the accomplishments of the government during that period of time. You could also judge based on the plans that we put forward. And then as I said, politics, people always say politicians promise the best and whatever, and they don't deliver. Well, when we promised in 2010, look at what we delivered. When we had a budget every year in 2010, look at what we delivered. Do the same thing with the PNM and wait and decide what you really believe. I did they give out some MiFi devices. This last year, October, in the budget, they talk about they allocating money to give out MiFi devices to people, to children who have internet access. And this month, September, they now have some of MiFi devices. Them take a year just to get the device to give to children. So for 1 year, if you had no internet access, you over there. If that is what you must judge them by. That's what you must judge by.
Top of the hour.
So, Ms. Lutchmedial, can you just stick with us for a few more minutes? We got to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We're going to go for a quick station identification. We have Senator Jayanti Lutchmedial with us tonight. Let's go for a quick station identification. Stick on, stay on, go nowhere. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Senator Lutchmedial, there's a question from the chat. Miss Lutchmedial, if the citizens come out to protest, will all UNC members come and stand with them together in protest?
Well, look, listen. The fact of the matter is right now we cannot protest because there are restrictions on gathering. We are in a state of emergency. And believe me, if there were those restrictions, I can assure you that there would be protests involving, various citizens and members of the The fact of the matter is, I cannot tell you to go now and protest and say that I will come and protest with you because we will all be in jail. It's like, there's a that the law in this country is that you cannot have a gathering or protest or peaceful demonstration or march without permission. And you are not, and unless you have that permission from the commissioner of police, but first you may even know who is commissioner of police right now, but if you had one, they'd have to give you, if you had a proposal or whatever it is, you would have to get permission. And, without that permission, you are breaking the law. So I can't tell you break the law and protest during a pandemic, during a state of emergency, and I will come and join you. I also, look, at the end of the day, I'm also a responsible person. I'm going to protest and gather with people at a time like this. We're hearing now that the Delta variant is in community spread. I wouldn't tell anybody to go out and expose themselves unnecessarily at a time like this. You know what I mean? So, what I would say is that marching in the streets is not the only form of protest. You have other ways. You have different, write letters to your MPs, challenge them, ask questions of them, go on and say things, write letters to the media, letters to the editor. I see people write letters to the editor, praise government on getting vaccines donated. Like, oh my God, like, the most simple thing that governments are being paid to do with your money. Right, I hardly see letters being published from you criticize the government. And you should do it. You write letters to the editor. Social media, it's free. It's free. Go on social media and talk and do things and educate people. If you have a feeling of discontent about a particular situation, whether it's the pandemic or the commission of policing or really limited or NGC, whatever it is. Go on social media and think about it. I see the whole country come together to talk about Nicki Minaj. I wish the whole country could come together now to talk about Rowley. I want to see the whole country come together and unite and have a conversation about Rowley and the PNM instead of Nicki Minaj and tweeting journalists and journalists tweeting she back and whatever other nonsense is. We put so much focus and energy into this.
I have a question though.
We don't
like I was suggesting about people. Is there any law from standing you from preventing you from standing in front of your property and protesting?
No, I talked about that the other day in Orokush West constituency. I saw the MP there with them because they have been experiencing extreme flooding issues, and they had a very socially distanced process, and it was with signs and so on, and the media covered it, of course, but like I say, it didn't get as much traction on social media. The price of chocolate digestive. So,
but if we do a countrywide thing in that everybody stand in front of their yard or with a property in their yard with their signs, and you got people to highlight it, stream it, whatever it is, you put it on social media, could that be something that can work?
Well, do you think the government has a history of listening to the people?
No, I don't think they have a history. But what I'm saying, I have a form of action from the people. I'm just saying to show their discourse.
And I would encourage anybody, like within your own community, come up with creative ways. Whether it's standing in front of your yard with a sign, call media, tell them what you're doing, get somebody to live stream it on Facebook or whatever.
That's what I've been suggesting.
Yeah, and to express your discontent, of course. Whether they will listen, whether they will change anything, may not be. But you know what? Some undecided voter, somebody who never voted in their life, or somebody who just decided to stay home because they just don't feel like it makes sense to vote, is what you're doing and might influence them. So, yes,
but there's nothing legally stopping you from doing that, right? Even under the SOE.
No, I don't believe that it's. I think if you're in your own property and standing in your own property, especially in non-curfew hours and so on, I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing that. Your private property.
And somebody drive by and video it and stream it.
Look, just hang a sign on your gate. You don't even have to stand up. Hang a sign on your gate. I said that. Live stream it. Yeah, that one live stream it. Live stream it.
But
make
Senator,
them see
Go ahead,
that
Anton.
you are discussing.
but Senator, I have a question, right? If you indicated that none of the UNC MPs are gonna go stand outside because it's illegal, right? Why do you then encourage your activists, or why don't you discourage your activists from going out and standing in front of the Red House when you know that they're going to be arrested? Why don't you discourage them from doing that?
I cannot recall any instance where the UNC would have asked activists to come and stand outside the Red House.
No, discourage them from standing. Like, for example, David Welch, who was arrested.
Okay, well, no, yeah, I know I visited him at the police station the day that he was arrested.
So why don't you discourage him from going out knowing that he's going to be arrested?
Well, personally, I don't think that one person, what Mr. Welch was doing, to my knowledge and to my recollection, what he was doing is walking in front of the Red House. He was walking in front of the Red House, and he was actually filming himself, like he was live streaming himself or something, and he had removed his mask in order to do so, and he was arrested. I don't think that him standing in front of the Red House or whatever it is had anything to do with his arrest. I can't recall what he was. I think he was arrested for the face mask thing, and I think he was arrested for a charge for resisting police officer, because when the officer came to speak to him about the mask, they say he was arrested or whatever. Right now, Mr. Welch will have his day in court. I'm not going to comment on that, but I think most of us have seen the video and all of that. It is a matter of court. He will deal with his legal matter in due course, right? But the fact of the matter is, we've never encouraged people to come there. I don't know that it's for us to discourage people from. It's one person wants to stand. Every time I go to Parliament, I have people standing there, and they don't run into issues. But say with the police may ask them to disperse if they're causing a disruption and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, walking on the pavement in front of the Red House is not a crime. At this point in time, gathering in numbers at this point in time together, close to is not only a breach of the regulations, but it's also advised given the COVID situation. Right?
Took the words out of my mouth.
Right. At the end of the day, though, I'm going to tell you something. I will not tell anybody go and protest and forget the government and forget public health and gather and protest and get together and all that. Please go and catch COVID and carry COVID home to your family. Right? I'm a parent, I'm a child, I'm a daughter, I'm all these different things. I don't want to be in a situation where I would carry a virus like that home to my family, and I would want that for anybody else as well. So that's the reason why I wouldn't tell you gather in public. But if you wish to stand in front of your home with a sign and get together with your neighbors and everybody do their own house things on your gate, whatever it is, record it, put it up on social media, I can't tell you. I would encourage you to do that if it is that you feel that you have a legitimate cause and you wish to express your views. Be your safety, your health and safety must always be at the forefront of your mind at a time like this. And I would be selfish as a politician or a member of the opposition to tell you to compromise your safety in the interest of advocating or pressuring the government or whatever. As much as I wish to see the PNM out of office yesterday, I wouldn't tell anybody to compromise their safety and their health to, as a means to an end. The means don't justify the end in that circumstance, if you ask me. That's just my position.
Yeah. Well, what I'm
Senator,
suggesting.
I have some input, right? If I, Diana Benskin, was in Trinidad, I was going for a walk on that pavement by the Red House every day. That is me. That is the spirit that dwells inside of me. I was wearing my mask. I was putting on my Resist SOE shirt, and I was going to walk that pavement for exercise and let one of them come and ask me some stupid question. You understand? I wave the Diana Benskin. That is who I am. Number two, there are ways that there are ways that this government a message can be sent to them. People that don't go to work for a day or two now you have COVID. Don't go to work. Teachers don't go to work. Policemen don't go to work. Nurses don't go to work. Who else? airport personnel, you have COVID, stay home. They tell you if you have COVID, stay home, Stay home. Don't go to work. You're not feeling well. They're going to fire thousands of workers now? And there's certain jobs that you can't train somebody on one day. You have to be qualified. Don't go to work. Cripple him and make him come to his knees and work with the opposition. But no, I find Trimbegonians don't have that fire in them. They need Buzz Butler to get up and get in there. I was going to walk that pavement by the Red House. And let her come and tell me I can't walk.
Look, we have a proliferation of this what we call keyboard warriors and armchair critics, right? Everybody have a that they type up on Facebook, but they ain't actually coming out to the house to do anything. And the pandemic has made it even worse. But look, in terms of staying away from work and that kind of thing, it's necessary. People might, your friends and family who have COVID might die. Right? You see elderly people who go into the clinic who might suffer. And I think that weighs on a lot of people. The other thing is, we have laws about protests and essential because that's another aspect of it. Another thing that weighs on the mind of people is that if they lose their job, in this economy and in this situation, as them say, guava season, because the guava season is very free right now. But it is guava season. You don't want to risk your income. You don't want to lose a day's pay. And
don't go to work.
But I agree. I agree with you
but
that
the signs, we could start by putting up the signs in front of your place and get somebody to videotape it. That we could walk around the SOE. So this is what I'm suggesting.
It's an actual safe way of maintaining your safety, your health, not breaching any protocol, health protocols or laws or whatever.
Because I found it to be very puzzling that a citizen can't walk on the pavement around the Red House, the house that belongs to the people. I find that to be very puzzling, that to be, when I fell up in Russian name, Putin-like behavior, you telling me I, a citizen, I can't walk on the pavement of my Red House? You're mad?
That's right next door, that's much more behavior.
Yeah, but madness, you telling me,
and they're trying to bring it in. That's what I always say that them when they like how them cities operating next to Venezuela, and that's what they're trying to implement here. Right? It's a kind of regime occurs there.
And who you afraid? Police? What the police going to do? Hey, I walk in for exercise. I have on my mask. It's me alone. I don't know. Leave me alone. I walk in. I ain't just leave me. I will go down and walk around that Red House the whole day. I walk around that pavement the whole day. They don't know Diana Benskin, I will walk that pavement the whole day.
As anyone who has lived in Trinidad will tell you and probably experienced it themselves, the way police in Trinidad operate sometimes, the way laws are enforced selectively, but sometimes very harshly, the way the justice system operates, things like that. Those things are all deterrents to people exercising their rights. But I want to take 10 years to move through the court system and nothing is really wrong, but all those things deter people from exercising their rights, so they are afraid. You're afraid of becoming a victim of a system that is defective.
And they're using that fear to control you.
But look what they did to David Wells.
Listen, you see, David Welch was talking, and Diana Benskin was walking around the Red House, that pavement. I need exercise. Only leave me alone. I walking on the pavement that Eric Williams fight for England for me to be free to do this. Right? I walk in here. You say that I could come outside between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Well, I outside and I walk in with my cane. Only leave me alone. Why are people so afraid?
Dana,
why are you so full of fear?
Because if you do it, you're going to get arrested.
But
if you do it again, you're going to get arrested.
Why are you going to arrest me because I walk on the pavement?
Them people have no money to go and pay for no attorney in order to go
to
jail and things like that.
You are going to arrest me because I walk in on the pavement?
Well, you will get arrested a lot.
Why are you arresting me? That's what I want to know.
Oh, you
But
mean you're
listen,
breaking the
watch
law?
what they did. Hold on a second. Watch what they did. They
You're
didn't just
breaking the
arrest
law?
David Welch.
It's
They
that
look him to the
simple.
How
ground.
am I breaking the law by walking on a pavement?
Because they
Diana,
will
you
tell
didn't see
you that
people.
you can't walk here because
Well, they can tell me,
Parliament is going on, and if you tell them why and you challenge them, no, let me tell you, if you ask them why and you challenge them, they'll tell you that you're obstructing a police officer, you're resisting arrest, and you use obscene language. That's the thing that they'll charge you for.
I use obscene
I'm
language.
telling
They
you,
really
no, because
don't want me
well,
to
that's
use
what they charge
obscene
you.
language.
That's what it is.
Diana, how you gonna fight that system? How you think you gonna fight that system?
Well,
That you
when
how you
one
gonna fight
person,
that system?
you see, now I'm glad you bring that question up.
How you fighting that system?
Can I respond to you?
Yeah.
When Martin Luther King decided he going and stand up and go inside the lunch counter and sit down there against a more tyrannical establishment than what's going on down in Trinidad and Tobago, they're asking me same question. How you go fight this?
Nah, that's different, man.
Why is it different?
That's different.
It's the beginning.
No, that's different.
Begins.
That's totally different.
Trinidadian
That's absolutely
to
different.
have that kind of
Absolutely
weight.
different.
It begins with these subtle, oppressive policies. That's how everything starts. You're telling. No, I want you all to understand. You're telling a citizen, and I'm a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, no matter what nobody say, and I go on to walk. Suppose I get lost now, and I walk around the pavement of the Red House to find my way. Or you're going to arrest me for that? I ain't talking to nobody. My mouth, I will have on 3 masks.
Something. Prior in under the administration, you guys remember how many protests we did, how many times that every Tom, Dick, and Harry, trade union, civil society, this one, that one come together and protest over.
It starts that way.
And this and that. But the pandemic has really changed things in terms of people coming together and coming out of their homes. And my hope is that when we come out of it and we get that people will return to that level of anger. But generally speaking, I find people a little docile and unwilling to at least become creative enough to find alternative ways of expressing their discontent. And I really hope that will change. And I really hope that, look, people really do have a responsibility to question the government, because it's not just about you, it's about everyone. People who have strength and have people who need the opportunity and the common sense and the voice. You are the voice of the voiceless. There are people who don't have the opportunity, who cannot do what you are doing. So everybody, I don't stop thinking that
I'm sorry, I wasn't. I'm telling you. I'm sorry I wasn't in Trinidad. I'm telling you, I would be every day. I'm going and walk somewhere in Port of Spain. It started with the Red House on Monday. Tuesday, I'm walking somewhere. You tell me I can't walk. You're only crazy. I have on my mask, my gloves, my thing, and I ain't saying nothing to nobody. Only leave me alone. You tell me I am a citizen can't decide my right.
The police is fabricating. But listen to me.
Speaking to them.
But you're not listening. Look what they did to David Welch.
But then David Welch went down there with camera and all that. I ain't going with no camera. I'm going and walk.
He has phone in his hand. Yeah. No,
I'm going and walk.
Live,
no, mind you, the phone will be on in my pocket recording. But I'm going and walk. I'm going and walk. You're telling me as a citizen, I cannot walk on a pavement in a country that the father of the country fight for me? Or they take away that right from me too? Nah. Trinbagonians all need to wake up. Wake up. A whole heap of go and walk around all kind of pavement in Port of Spain. Let me see how much police they have to arrest all here. Huh? You telling me that? As a citizen, you can't walk on a pavement? Nah, they be slipping into a dark hole.
Diana, you gotta make a trip. You gotta make a trip to Trinidad.
They're slipping into a dark hole. You cannot walk on a pavement. What madness all they talking now? No. Walk on all your pavement. Eric Williams fight to get you all independence and republic and whatever. And this is what all this allowing one man to do? Come on. Don't go to work.
Don't go. If I came out today and told everybody that the next session of parliament, they should come in front of the parliament and protest. You know,
You
the
ain't
media,
doing it. I
all
telling
the,
them. I
well,
telling
listen,
them. You don't do
all
it. No, you don't do it.
media,
Don't do
and
it, Senator.
whoever
You
does it,
don't do it.
whoever does it, the media, the
I just do it all the
leaders,
time.
all the time, crucify you and say that you want the COVID to spread and you are endangering the lives of people and da da da. You will become the enemy, you know.
Let them
Believe it or
become
not, you
the
will become
enemy.
the enemy.
No, because you talk about they put the SOE in place to accelerate vaccination. The SOE is from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. You're vaccinating people that time of the night. COVID don't spread between 9 a.m. and
Well,
5
I don't
p.m.
know. I hear they say they need a better emergency so people can give injection. They want to accelerate vaccine. Nobody wants to take the vaccine. I mean, there's absolutely not a single shred
And I believe
of
that is the citizens' way
logical
of
reasoning behind it.
protesting. The citizens are protesting by not taking the vaccine. Now you get it. The citizens are protesting. Listen to me, Dr. Rowley and Dale saying the citizens are protesting in their own way. They're not taking the vaccine.
So, folks,
Yeah, that's a form of protest.
Yeah, so we want to thank, we have our Miss Lutchmedial here for now quite some time, and we appreciate her giving us some time. So, Miss Lutchmedial, did you see the breaking news that AV Oil is taking your political leader to court?
I don't know every story, but they're taking her to court for what exactly? For what, defamation?
Yeah, they're taking her to court for defamation. Yeah.
I think
Doing
I've
a
done some before. So I mean, we'll, look, you deal with these things as they come. We look at it and we'll see what happens. I don't know what they are trying to prove. I think that all in the fullness of time will reveal itself for that matter. But the fact of the matter is, citizens, and particularly members of the opposition, are entitled to question public officials and are entitled to question things like this and entitled to question the expenditure of taxpayers' dollars. I require raise a matter about CCTV cameras and the contract that was awarded, and he promptly gets reaction protocol letters, which I actually he really represents. I responded to them, and it's based, but the point is that this is just sometimes it's a way of you want to show that you are the defense of they know that they do anything wrong, and they I think that they should just be content. But the fact of the matter is, David Drilling cannot close their eyes to the reality that citizens must have concerns. And that's my position. And my position is that if the government was more open and frank with information, it wouldn't be necessary for citizens to speculate so much. So, that's what they need to do. Just, both Trinidad Petroleum Holdings and Navy Drilling need to let the country see for themselves what is really what is what, and understand what happened and what went wrong. What went wrong in that matter, right? You can't. The SPD, who was the chairman at the time when Navy Drilling was terminated, pay or get that out of his own money because he's no longer the chairman of Petroleum. They also pay that in newspapers, talk about what happened with the Petroleum, the decision to terminate the contract, right? So what changed from that time, and what for the board at that time, and now, and that is and the arbitration that caused Petroleum to lose, because what Mr. SPD has set out in his statement and what he has explained as the evidence of which the board of Petroleum did at the time, it seems very it seems very inexplicable that they would have lost the arbitration. So the population, the taxpayers, the owners of Petrotrin and the owners of Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited now deserve to know what happened and what went wrong in the arbitration. Was it that something went wrong in the arbitration? Or was it that SPA's board acted improperly and didn't exercise due diligence in coming to a decision? Those are issues and things that have to be that should be ventilated in the public domain. That's my view.
So this case never went to court in that aspect because they just decided to settle, right? Basically.
Well, there was an arbitration. The arbitrator awarded AV Drilling damage that they said they should be paid and all that. And Petition negotiated the amount of damages and whatever, and they settled it. Instead of the option that Petition had was under the Arbitration Act, you can make an application to the High Court to set aside the arbitration award. And then, so it's almost like an appeal then, that you don't accept the award of the arbitrator. And there's certain grounds and so on. There's the other aspect of it. The attorney, Mrs. Deborah Counsel, who had conduct of the petition matter, of the APJ matter on behalf of petition, advised that it should be done. She felt a good grounds to make the application to the High Court. So it is even more puzzling. Now, apart from what went wrong in the arbitration, it is even more curious as to why in the advice and opinion from the person who is supposedly most familiar with the matter. Mrs. Peake has been involved in this matter, has been representing the interest of petition from inception, from 2017 or whenever this matter was first raised. So if you act against the advice of your own attorney who is most familiar with the matter, then you have to, and you really should, fully ventilate and explain to the population to do so. When you don't do that and you're these wishy-washy kind of responses, or well, we were advised and we were just, you leave it to the population to speculate that something is untoward.
So, Senator, we want to thank you so very kindly for joining us tonight. Any closing words before you go?
I want to advise everybody in the population that you must stay safe. You must keep your, and look, I'm not pro-mandatory vaccination, but I am pro-vaccination. I do believe that the science supports not that vaccines will stop you from getting COVID. It may be reducing your risk, but it will also prevent serious illness and death. So I encourage people to take the vaccine. Let us get back more where we can, as you all want to do, take the streets and pressure the government. I encourage people to educate themselves. I find that we have too many people who have opinions that are uninformed in this country, and so they are the ones who are the loudest. They bring the noise, as someone has taught me that phrase now. The PNM, the uninformed, the people who buy the propaganda, they bring noise, and us who know don't bring the noise. And I think that's what we have to know. We need more people who are educated about issues, and education is not how much degree you have. That's not education. Education is whether you inform yourself about facts, whether you analyze things carefully. And yes, I agree the opposition has a duty to explain things to you. And I hope that, for example, that little explanation I gave about behavior, I hope it resonates somebody. So listen to what people have to say. And also you have to buy what I have to say wholesale, But information is out there. Go and research it yourself. Get informed and make informed decisions. I have no doubt, none whatsoever, that people in this country inform themselves more about issues and really educate themselves about the issues affecting their lives that is inevitable for.
So, Senator, we want to thank you so very kindly. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you, sis, for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I hope I wasn't too harsh with you. I just,
No, of course not. I love your passion, and I want to see that same fire and passion in every and Tobago.
Thank you so very much.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Senator. Good night, Senator.
So, Rowley and Nanduki, can you put closing comments in the chat?
Lord, boy, they're giving you some licks in this chat here tonight.
So we got some clarification on certain things. So you see what happened with this AVR situation? It's not that they won a case. There's a settlement that took place, an agreement, right? They didn't win nothing, all right? So some people decided to manipulate things in their own favor. More will come to light in later days. But I'm sure the Ansem got some education and some facts.
Hey, Ellis Island, I have a diary of words. Yeah, you're damn right. I got a diary of words, and I don't have to write the Queen of England a letter. I try to explain to you guys, right? When you come from a background I come from, where you fight for what you want and you have to stand up for yourself, it's like a fire in me, right? And then you have to remember, the African people are born to Bajan people. That fire inside me. I don't sit down 2 minutes. And when I see thing going, the air going right, I am the first one to say, nah, this ain't working. And I go start upsetting apple cart. That is my nature. I know who I am. I upset apple cart here in the United States on jobs that wasn't treating me right. Right? I just stand up for myself. So
Damn
them
straight.
telling me I
Damn
can't
straight.
walk on a pavement, or they're mad. Even if I went and do it one day, Diana Benskin was going and walk by my red house that Eric Williams left for me as a citizen. I ain't saying nothing to the police. I ain't saying nothing to I wear my mask. I'm not breaking any protocol. And I can walk on the pavement in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you go take lock up too.
Nobody, how you gonna lock me up for what?
And you
What
want to
time
lock
they
you
gonna
up?
lock? No,
But
why
not
are
just
they
lock up
why are
alone.
they
You gotta
gonna
take
lock me
lock
up
up.
for?
You
Why are
might
they
get
gonna
free
lock?
tickets too.
Why are they
Because
gonna lock
it's a
me up?
state of emergency
Why?
and you're breaking the law.
I am walking on the pavement.
But you notice what they do? Then it's a good thing the boy had his camera on, because he captured the evidence. When they knock him onto the ground, he didn't say anything disrespectful, right? The only thing is he made a mistake in slipping down the mask, and he wasn't a wrong anybody to jeopardize anybody help by slipping down
Thank
the
you.
mask.
You're walking by yourself. I have on two
He
masks.
was
I'm not saying
sufficiently
nothing to
distanced.
nobody. Why are you going to arrest me? For what?
But they didn't just arrest him.
Then
They knock
you're
him down.
living in Russia or you're living in Venezuela. That's the point I'm trying to make. Under Dr. Rowley, a black man go arrest well, let me put myself in the category. A senior citizen for walking on the pavement.
So Nam, Duki, and Rowley, could you guys put closing comments in the chat? Put closing comments in the chat. Yeah. Well, Dana, I mean, if you want to get locked up, go and walk.
Well, what do you mean?
That's
And there you
simple.
go, you're trying to put fear in my head. I ain't
No, I'm trying to put
no
no
lock
fear in
up
your
no
head.
police and all them.
But
I will go down there peacefully and walk Port of Spain for exercise. Now, any policeman come up to me and he telling me, well, I can't walk here. Maybe I will. Wait. I will reroute. Can I finish? There you go. That PNM nonsense is not going to work with me. Okay, I can't walk here. Where can I walk? Where can I walk?
Walk in your house.
He
walk in your house.
He knocked it down and say you're resisting arrest.
Knock who down?
It's a state of emergency. It is a state of emergency.
They did not say you cannot walk. You cannot. What kind of protest? They did not say you can't go out of your house and conduct business during 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Can you do that? All right, then I done. Can I go out of my house? When I ask you a question,
you cannot walk around the red house.
You can't walk around the red house. Well, I lost. Point me in the right direction where I'm supposed to walk then. I'm a senior citizen. I lost. You're going to lock me up for being lost?
Yes.
You never heard about abuse of power?
That's how it does go. That's exactly right, Tommy. It's abuse of power. And they will lock you up just to prove a point.
Let me tell you something. People have limitations, right? You know, someday it's going to overflow.
Thank you.
All right? Someday it's going to overflow. And it will go the way that we don't want it to go.
So how long you going to go on? How long you going to go on with this? How long you going to go on with this, Anselm? People catching the nenen. And when I talked about saltfish, I tell them they can make akra and they can make whatever, buljow and sell. Right? And eat. You ain't got to go and buy massy expensive chicken. Chicken going up how much? $20-something a pound. And if the chicken look like a pigeon.
So Dana, when you get locked up, you go blame the PNM for locking you up.
I'm not blaming no PNM for no lockup. Anselm, let me tell you something, right? I could care less about PNM right now. I don't give a rat's behind about PNM because I'm sick and tired of them how they're oppressing the people. I'm saying they're putting fear in the people. And let me tell you something. You see my frustration here? A lot of people are feeling it, but they can't vent it because they send me messages, and I'm venting that frustration for the people. They're gonna get tired, like Gary said. Let Dr. Rowley and Imsbert and all them, and they don't have no police commissioner right now, you know. They don't have a police commissioner right now. Eh? Continue with the nonsense and see how far it's gonna get them, or where it's gonna go. Continue oppressing, suppressing, depressing people. And see what's going to happen. They are human beings. They are going, every action brings a reaction. You oppress them, suppress them, and they're depressed now.
What happened to the last SOE, Dana?
Well, I'm not going to go there, but you extended it. You extended it, and you're making it and becoming more uncomfortable.
Months ago?
They're becoming more uncomfortable. They're becoming more unease. I just follow people comments, and I just follow people. So you listen to what they say. I listen to the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, 2 women that carry on that platform there. Ansel, and people are tired and they're fed up. Judge Volney's prediction is going to happen.
Diana,
when it happens, I say
Diana,
so.
I am agreeing that people are fed up and tired. I am agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But you see, think about it. We just asked the senator if they were going to go outside in front of the Red House. What did they say?
And she explained to me whether they went or not. No, she's not going to go because they're breaking the law. Right, they're breaking the law.
She's a lawyer.
She's
but she's telling you they're breaking the law, but you want to go and you're not breaking the law.
I can walk the streets in Port of Spain.
All right, okay.
What do you mean I can? Wait.
But she's telling you they're not going to break the law, but you want to go against them and go and break the law.
And Slim, where in the dotish suppression of expression says I cannot go and conduct business between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And if my business happens to take me to that part of Port of Spain, you're going to lock me up? All right, then I done talk.
Hey,
you could exercise on the Queen's Park Savannah too.
Can you please closing comments in the chat? Please do closing comments in the chat.
Then they need to go and put in the SOE. They don't want you going there. Put it in there in writing. But don't tell me I can't walk the streets of Port of Spain to conduct business, essential business. My journey took me that way.
What business you going to conduct from the Red House? What business you going to conduct from the Red House?
No, my business took me in that direction. Or I can go and tell the judge that. Your Honor, my business took me in that direction. Well, you're gonna lock me up for that? Where in the SOE say I can't walk on a pavement in Trinidad and Tobago? Point it out to me.
But you didn't hear the senator just tell you.
I hear, but I will. Where in the SOE say so?
Listen to we saw the video with David Welch, right? Did you see David Welch resist the police or insult the police or cuss the police? No, right?
Thank you.
But they made that up and they knocked him to the ground. What did David Welch do to warrant the police knocking him down to the ground instead of just detaining him?
Gary,
we're living in that's a dictatorship.
Who defended David Welch? You're forgetting. Like you're forgetting. I defended David Welch.
Myself too.
Come on, man. Gary, do have selective memory now, you know.
Police brutality.
I ain't saying you didn't, but what I'm saying to you is what I'm looking at, right? We all saw the video. Thank God that he had his phone on. We saw the approach of the police officer. We saw what David Welch did. David Welch made a simple mistake, but he had nobody around him. He slightly moved his mask off his face. So slightly moving your mask off your face with nobody around you warrants the police coming and knocking you down to the ground because you become a bomb.
So I walk in Port of Spain. I conduct business. I decide I'm going to walk back.
That should not have been done. That should not have been done.
I go walk to get to wherever I got to go. And you tell me I can't walk on the pavement in Trinidad and Tobago. When the SOE say so? When it say so? It say you can't protest. Me protesting. I'm walking on the pavement.
You cannot
walk on the incident.
Answer, I don't want to hear you and you can't take that to Dr. Rowley and them set up those people and don't tell me I can't walk on the pavement. You get me vexed now. I feel like going to buy a ticket tomorrow and go down there and walk, you know.
You can walk, you know,
like that, you know.
You can walk, but just you're going to call Senator Lutchmedial to come
and
bail you out. You can walk.
I walk in, you say I could conduct essential business between 9 and 5 p.m. or 10 o'clock in the night. I gotta get home at 9 p.m. or whatever. I go in and walk and go about my business. I am not
once
walking
around the Red House, twice around the Red House, 3 times around the Red House, 4 times. Oh, something has to be wrong here.
I lost.
You're going to get locked up. You're lost. When you're going to jail, you might get lost in the jail too.
You know, nobody ain't gonna lose me in no jail. Believe you me. They don't want to deal. No. They don't want to deal with me. Nobody want to deal with me. Lost in the jail. Trust me, they will stay far from me inside that jail. Trust me. They're gonna stay far from me.
But Diana, let me ask
But
you
you
a
have no
question.
space in the jail, Diana.
I ain't going to no damn jail in the first place because I breaking no law. I'm walking on the streets in Trinidad and Tobago by myself, my mask on. I get lost.
Diana, Ellis say he coming with you. Ellis say he coming with you because he afraid lock up. Ellis coming with you.
I afraid lock up.
No. He say Ellis say he coming with you because he afraid lock up. Little Ron Horner say he coming with you. My dog say he coming with you. Cheese stick say he coming with you.
Full of it, man.
Lana say nah. Lana say nah. We ain't doing that.
Walk. You cannot walk. You can't make me. I'm not here. You can't walk in the streets of Port of Spain. Hold the tail.
So Queen, can you put closing comments in the chat because I couldn't get Nan Duki to put it. So Queen, can you put closing comments? I saw Rowley closing comments. Let me see. I had to go back to it. Yeah.
Where I am a turtle, hard on the outside and soft on the inside. I could get very, very hard too, girl. Same hand that.
What I'm saying is,
Nadia say, Anselm is a real PNM. Oh my God, people suffering. Nadia, let me say this, Nadia, there's a lot of things that I come on here and I do absolutely say anything about what I do for people in Trinidad and Tobago who are suffering. I understand that fully well. Okay, and there's a lot of people that I support in Trinidad who are suffering. So I know you don't know. So I'm not hard on you, but I'm just letting you know. I know what people are dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago. I know that fully well. As a matter of fact, I just talked with another person today, telling me, boy, Anselm, boy, could you do A, B, C, D, E for me? All right. I just don't come and like to talk about it. But there's a lot of things a lot of us are doing behind the scenes, and we don't talk about it. We absolutely don't talk about it. So I understand the suffering that people are going through in Trinidad and Tobago. I really do understand that. And I know. As a matter of fact, I understand that fully. That's why we here at WZYE 95.9 FM take a stand for exile and stranded citizens. Because they were suffering more than anything else. Right?
Well,
and there were those who was,
and this comment about police go take me and see again, then we live it. Then this is the point I'm trying to prove. You're living under a fella like Putin and Maduro. What it is, I walking on the pavement, I have to disappear. Then you're living, what kind of country you're living in? That's the point that I'm trying to bringing out the comments.
Diana, come on, Diana. Let me make a trip to Trinidad and let me see how much time go come out. Mad Dog and Fistix and Ellis.
I go and walk Port of Spain. I put on my sneaker, put on two masks, I put on my sun visor, put on my gloves, and I ain't saying nothing to nobody. Don't
Mad
ask
Dog
me
and Fistix
nothing.
and them coming nowhere. Don't
ask. I don't want to follow it. I go and walk for exercise.
They go say, Diana, let me join you virtually. They go walk around in their house and they go join you in a virtual.
Doctor tell me I need that. I go and walk for exercise. I'm not speaking. I'm lost, officer. I am lost. Can you point me in the right direction? And I'm going wrong the other way. I get lost again. As a senior citizen,
Diana,
I forget what you tell me.
But Diana told me anything. Only we had a closer. Ellis, you see, Ellis, sometimes you just get very, very spectacular, splentacular comments, right? But sometimes, you just make comments and you make me have to wonder about you sometimes. I don't like to get in your case. People that said us get in your case and Little Red Honor's case, right? Ellis, that video that I put out today, Ellis, was from 2 years ago. That video was from 2 years ago when Dr. Rolly rang the bell at the NASDAQ, the first Prime Minister of the Caribbean in the history of the Caribbean to ring the bell at the NASDAQ. Right? And I just see it. I get a memory from Facebook. I say, hey, I'm in the glory. So I point it out. All right? That wasn't no time. That was no time recently. That was about 2 years ago.
But it's also showing the effort you made to help this government or Trinidad and Tobago, and no appreciation. It's not like there's somebody out there who just running your mouth. I mean, you did some things to make an effort to make better, and you was in direct contact with the Prime Minister.
And we still doing it.
And still and you didn't go through some kind of backdoor thing. I mean, you shouldn't have to go through. You have direct access to the Prime Minister then. But what I'm saying to you now, fact is that even with all of that, you still cannot communicate with him to get him to change his mind and to have a conversation about what's going on and say, well, boss, maybe we should try this. This approach is not really working. And can we talk about this? He's not interested in talking about that.
Well, I go tell him, Dr. Rowley, what all you doing ain't working. The people catching the nenen. The children had thing to go to school. Where you putting property tax on people for? And this TT pass thing for people to come home is a sort of confusing for elderly people. Luckily, I still have it. But they have some elderly people cannot get the system navigate. What you do? Why are you putting that? Why property tax on people now? People can't afford to pay for internet. Very moratorium for the debtors to stay off of the people. They hide in the car. What kind of Dr. Rowley, you mess up. Your friend ain't gonna tell you so, but I telling you mess up.
Which one are your friends?
You.
But he more than mess up, Diana. He being oppressive to the people and inconsiderate. He have been totally heartless.
Really mess up. Like so had a song, the government, all them mess up. And let me tell you something, Dr. Rowley. You think people gonna sit down much longer for this? You think they're gonna sit down much longer? All right, go in and run Forrest in Parliament. Oh, we're gonna pass a law for this and pass a law for that. You're slowly becoming a dictatorship, pulling away from sweet TNT. The niceness of TNT is becoming like a prison, a jail. You have people living in jail in their own home, frightened to do this and frightened to go and walk in Port of Spain. Well, I never thought I would live to hear this. Okay, I can't party, I can't go by the beach, all right, we tell me I can't walk my pavement. What madness is that, Dr. Rowley? Huh? I can't walk the pavement, I get lost. I ain't coming by Red House, making no noise, I get lost. I cannot walk on the pavement peacefully by myself. Then I'm living in flipping Russia.
Tommy, closing comments?
I don't know what to say. Right.
Tommy.
Yes, sir. Well, this is Abraham Lincoln says this. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. I hope it didn't go over anybody's head. Anyway, Epicurus says the greater the difficulty, the more the glory in surmounting it. A pleasant good night to all. Thanks for spending time with you and you spending time with me. Looking forward to seeing you Thursday night.
Go ahead, Diana. Hold a minute. 1 minute. Hold 1 minute. Hold 1 minute.
And nothing went over my head, Tommy. It went through my ears.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to end with a poem that I created. I don't know. I'm going to send a message, but it's about the wearing a mask, right? Good. I don't like wearing this mask. Why, you may ask? They're not tailored properly and they fit me incorrectly. I always feel as though I'm suffocating, and no matter what kind, enough oxygen I am never getting. I wonder sometimes if I'm wearing it correctly, because when I look at how some of you wear it differently, some of you wear it with your nose all exposed, Others will have them hanging from one ear. Not concerned about the viral variants that are roaming out there. The historical data seems to be clear. Corona and Delta, no plane, no bear. The health authorities say they're two deadly viral strains. I don't like wearing this mask. Why? Some of you still continue to ask. It does not fit in with my style, and the world can't see my pretty smile. Some of you throw them wherever you wish. They may end up in the belly of the fish that could become a meal on your dish. I'm vaccinated, yet still I have to wear this mask, feeling suffocated. So all the anti-vaxxers, we the mask haters, think that it is time to make up your mind to take the vaccine. Because wearing this mask, the best part of my personality is on scene. I don't like wearing this mask. This COVIDian wants the world to hear when she laughs. To the unvaccinated, now is the time to roll up those sleeves and get inoculated while you still have a choice, because wearing this mask muzzles my voice. I don't like wearing this mask. Now, when you see me without it, please don't ask. This is Diana Benskin, aka The Storm, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again. Good night, my beloved people.
Yo, Gary.
Yeah, well, I would like to encourage you to continue to wear your mask, because being vaccinated is not 100% proof of protecting you. So I would say wear your mask. I know we don't like it and all these things. Anyway, I want to thank Senator Lutchmedial for taking the time. I've been trying for a while to get her to come on and discuss what's happening with the people in the country, and it's deeply appreciated. I also would like to thank the people who joined us tonight to listen. And I'm hoping that they would make use of the information brought forward to them, that they could take some kind of course of action and stand up for themselves in the country. I mean, join those who are fighting the fight and just don't be a spectator. I mean, this is serious. This is a life-threatening issue. It's not, something that we can be ignored. Everyone is being affected by it, whether inside or outside the country, because those of us who are outside the country have family inside the country. So it's affecting us anyway. I just want to encourage you to stand with those who are taking a stand and can network with each other and make a difference in the country. With that, I will say good night. Everyone, I hope to see you on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Gary. Rowley, the comments going so fast, folks, in the chat that Rowley, the comments gone. It disappeared. It disappeared. So maybe you could try and put them on again, Rowley, if you could. And who's the other one? Queen, if you're still there, can you put in comments? Or CV, can you put in closing comments? Queen or CV?
I found Rowley's comments. He said,
okay, go ahead.
WZYE, you all have a very educational, informative program. You have guests from both sides, PNM and UNC, which is very good. Shows you all are unbiased. Thanks so much for having us on your program.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate that. Who's the other one? Who did I say? CV. I think CV's still there. CV, if you're there, put closing comments. And of course, guys, my comment is very straightforward. My closing comment is very straightforward. Your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all. I like to stay, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Boy, this was a marathon tonight. But I'm gonna leave Ole with this song. Ole will like this one very much, yeah.
Sweet G says no experimental vaccine. It's pointless and harmful. That's what I see from him.
Okay, thank you very much, CV. We appreciate that. Ole will like this one. They will like this one too bad. They will like this one. Let me go with this one here.
All right, guys. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Ole will like this one. And Ole like this singer too bad.
It's amazing how people can change. I'm still in shock, I can't understand. I am so disappointed in man. Man make me cry, tears run from my eye. All I could ask was the reason why. Was man fighting power, he fighting greed. Oh, greed. Man making blunders for selfish need. Man gon' call you brother, but man so slack. Say man with a dagger, stabbing your back. I'm mesmerized, shocked, and still in dismay. Look how they treat me in the folk fair the other day. Chucky was thunder, Chucky was tough. Chucky was power, Chucky was rough. But politicians respected this Calypsonian, who always seemed to look out for the poor man. But since Daphne Philip brainwashed the brother and made Chucky director of culture, since he got big position, he start moving strange. It's amazing how people could change. As they get in power, they plan to rearrange. It's amazing how people could change. You have to agree. It's lies they're on in this whole country. Look how Chucky boil right down like Baji. Lies we're on in this whole country. Go back. Go, 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 go. Took time out and thought about man, unassuming hard to understand. One day man could be up the ladder, next day man could be the prime minister. Man to the basic, callous and sly. Oh my, if God was on earth, man make God cry. When I hear we St. Peter did to Christ, man could appear good, but man not nice. A man who used to fight to get murderers free, today that same man preaching righteousness to me. Check most of the cases that Ramesh won. State witness boom boom, just on the case done. But Ramesh big like Tarzan now swinging on vine, telling you execution in record time. Baka say he promised him the deed for the land. Soon as Baka helped him win election, but after election Ramesh start moving strange. It's amazing how people could change. As they get in power, they plan to rearrange. It's amazing how people could change. You have to agree. It's life we're on in the whole country. Back up with the tape. Ramesh ball, not me. Life we're on in this whole country.